love sports? Or maybe you're looking now.
Herbert looking around. Fine time now. Throw this touchdown.
And on social media. Contact our sales team today to see what Sports 1440 should do for you. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca.
It's 11. It's 11. Hung up with Hyman. Winterton tried to drag on the power play.
The Jason Gregor Show.
He's in for a touchdown. His third career rushing touchdown, but it's first in 4 years. And the Chargers add to their lead.
On Sports 1440.
Washington for the win. Mariota rejected.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Hung up with Hyman. Winterton tried to drag it free, but it comes to Bouchard. Nugent-Hopkins loads. McDavid to the net. Bouchard. Nugent-Hopkins shoots and scores. Edmonton takes a 1-0 lead on the power play.
Well, a magnificent Monday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. You can download the app, Radio Player, iHeartRadio, Stingray app. Take the show anywhere you want in the city, the province, the country, even out of the country. As long as you got 5G, you can listen there. So, thank you very much. Of course, if you're on YouTube, say hi to Declan there in the chat and be sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for that. It's very simple. It takes no time. Subscribe and a thumbs up. It'll make that'll be your Christmas contribution. How about that? We should maybe set a goal for Christmas to see how many subscribers we want and be like, hey, I want to give Declan a Christmas present. It really costs you nothing. No money. Very little effort. I think we'll have to come up with a number. How about we get to 2,000? That would be nice. So, if you have some spare time, tell your friends. Hit the subscribe button at YouTube for Sports 1440. Very, very simple. The Gregor Show always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game. Use the promo code Gregor50. You'll make a $50 deposit, and guess what? They'll match it. Give you an extra 50. So it's 2 for 1. Pretty good deal. Also, while you're there, check out the Jason Gregor Show daily specials. You get more boosts, a little bit more bang for your buck, shall we say. Good luck. We got the Giants and the Patriots over 47 points, and the Patriots winning by more than a touchdown. Now, there's been some upsets, as we saw. Who would have picked the Panthers over the Rams? You never know what happens. And then we also have it, if you like offense, I thought some low over totals. Pittsburgh and Flyers to score 6 or more goals, and the Mammoth and the Sharks to score 6 or more. So you can check that out at PlayAlberta.ca. It is the Jason Gregor Show, and today is December 1st. And that means today is the start of our 15th annual month of giving. If you're just new to it, every day on the show, well, except Fridays. Fridays we do a pyramid of giving, but Monday to Thursdays, we have different items that we auction off. These items are 100% donated, and 100% of the money goes to different charities at Christmas. The Christmas Bureau, Santa's Anonymous, Holiday Hamper, Adopt a Teen, the Brightview Elementary breakfast program, which is fantastic. Just kids a simple thing as food to start their day. So that's what it is. And we have a variety of different packages each year. Some we bring back every year because people like them. There's always lots of interest in them. Others are kind of unique experiences that you can't just go out and buy. You know, dinner with certain people. We've had general managers. We've had star players. You know, we always try to change it up different years in some different venues and different places. So we've got some of that. A few other experiences. Some of you do your Christmas shopping on the show, which is fantastic. You like golf and other things. We do all that. So today we start off with something that, I would assume everybody has one of these in their house. It's a furnace. You need one. And today, courtesy of Legacy Heating and Cooling, you get a choice. You can get the furnace or an AC. The furnace is going to be a Goodman GVRT 96% Energy Star high efficiency furnace. It's 2-stage variable speed. It's a gas furnace, comes with a permit and the inspection fees. Gets a Wi-Fi smart thermostat. Also removal and disposal of your old furnace and 10-year parts and labor and a lifetime heat exchanger warranty on the furnace. If you get the AC unit, it is a Goodman GL XS 3B air conditioner with evaporator coil, pad bracket, electrical connections. Comes with your permit and inspection fees, Legacy Heating and Cooling Wi-Fi smart thermostat, and a 10-year parts, labor, compressor warranty on the AC unit. So it's very simple. If you want to bid, you don't even have to tell us which one you want. You just have to bid your name and what you bid. And 100% today is going to help out the Christmas Bureau. A fantastic organization that's been around in Edmonton, helping out many families for years, just to try to make Christmas a little bit more enjoyable for them. So if you're in, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440 is where you can text us and get your bids, and away we rock and roll. Today we got a great lineup for you. Kevin Woodley is going to be by. Greg Wyshynski. We got Speck, Taylor Haas from Pittsburgh to talk about the Penguins. How long can the Penguins go? We'll see. Tristan Jarry, would they be happy to get rid of them? What's kind of going on there? Also, we'll talk a little NFL with Alex Berth. We'll hear from Zach Hyman, Adam Henrique, as well as Chris Knobloch. Update, Oiler fans. I know you're always curious about the injuries because the Oilers have had a fair amount of injuries. 91-man games lost already due to injury. That's going to jump up to 94 tomorrow because Jake Wallman is not going to play tomorrow. Roslovic's not playing tomorrow. Kapanen's not playing tomorrow. Kapanen and Roslovic, at this point, you're shooting maybe a game before Christmas. Maybe 2. That's probably best case scenario. Most likely is they're back after Christmas. So as far as Jake Wallman, he was on the ice today, not playing tonight. I don't expect him to play against Seattle. Now, he didn't finish the practice. So I would say best case scenario, earliest return for Wallman will be Saturday against Winnipeg. So if that's at least 2 more games, now they're up to 97. If he doesn't play that game, it'll be 100-man games lost to injury already for the Edmonton Oilers. And there's a few teams that have been battered more than the Oilers, but not many. If you look at the Vancouver Canucks, have already lost 131 games to injury. Now, not every injury is the same, right? You look at Connor Hellebuck's injury for the Winnipeg Jets, and I would say that's a more significant injury. He's currently missed 6 games, but that 6 games with him is different than 6 games for a third-line player, right? But I'm just going off of total games lost due to injury. Vancouver has 191. You have the New Jersey Devils have the most at 127. They've had a lot of guys injured, right? You look at Dougie Hamilton on the back end, Jonathan Kovacevic, Brett Pesce. Now, Dadonoff and Zach McEwen have combined for 37 games lost, and no offense to either one of them. They're not, there's big name guys. Obviously, Florida, 115-man games lost. No Barkov, no Matthew Tkachuk already this year. Kulikov has only played 2 games. They got a lot of guys out. So there's New Jersey at 127, Florida at 115, Vancouver at 131. Those are the teams with 100. Dallas is at 98. And then the Oilers are at 91, tied with Buffalo. So it's if you're wondering where the Oilers rank, well, let's just say 5th most man games lost and counting, because we know that, they'll be up to 97. They're going to be up to 99 because Kapanen and Roslovic. So they'll be up at 100 at the earliest on Saturday, if not by the next game. So it's not an ideal start for the Oilers, and injuries do play a part. Small part. That has nothing to do with puck management, which has been the Oilers' biggest weakness this season, except on Saturday. Saturday, they were very good in Seattle. Right from the get-go, what were the shots? 8-0 at one point to start that game. Then they took a penalty. I thought the 5-on-3 was massive late in that first period. You're leading 1-0. It's a 5-on-3, and you're thinking, this is where, and Skinner made a few big stops on there. The Killers were excellent, and they got out of it, and then they didn't really look back in the second period. Draisaitl scores. The team had a little bit of bite. Marchman's running around. He's hitting guys, and, he's getting some energy in the building. That's good. And the Oilers, hey, they got pissed off. Their coach talked about it, how he says, there is a lot of chatter on our bench. I've always said this team plays better when they're more emotional. And I get that sometimes it's easier to get mad at somebody and be like, okay, that's the guy. Now I'm mad. But some days just lead with the energy yourself. Hit somebody. Get fired up. Look at Clattenburg. Look at Hyman. Pick a name, right? They're hitting guys. They're ready to go. You can find ways to get more emotionally invested, but they were. And, Draisaitl scored. Then they score a power play goal. Hyman gets a little bit lucky right off his skate. David scores in the third, and it was good night, Irene. Then there was, Clattenburg got in a fight, and then Regula got in a tilt, didn't throw any punches in that one, but they were emotionally invested. And guess what? They play Seattle on Thursday. Now, the Kraken, they played the Oilers Saturday. They don't play again until the Oilers on Thursday. So that game might have a little bit more juice in it, which would be good. So now, speaking of Oilers games, tomorrow night, the Minnesota Wild come to town. And they're good. And I forgot. Yeah, Noah Phillips, the other one. So they'll be at 100 before the weekend. Thanks, Paul. I forgot about Phil. So you look at the Oilers game against the Minnesota Wild tomorrow night. That, when you look at this homestand, the Oilers have great potential to make this a very good homestand. Buffalo, Detroit, Winnipeg, they all play on the second half of a back-to-back. And Winnipeg, it's their 6th game in 9 days. That should be a win. No question. On Saturday night, fatigue, everything else, that's a game the Oilers should win. Then you throw in Buffalo and Detroit. Next week, they're back-to-back. Now, Minnesota isn't, neither is Seattle. But the Oilers are rested. Minnesota comes in. They're playing excellent hockey right now. Right? They're playing great. So this will be a really good test for the Oilers. But, hey, you want to feel like you're a good team? Here's your chance. The Wild are what, 8-0-2 or 9-0-2 in their last, well, I know they're 8-0-2 in their last 10. It might even be 9-0-2 if I'm missing one. And the Oilers, the last time that you played the top teams in the Central, you got spanked. 9-1 to Colorado, 8-3 to Dallas. Knobloch even said, well, I'm pretty sure we can't be any worse. I'd like to believe we're going to be better. So tomorrow night is a good game and should be a real good litmus test. And because it is month of giving, if you want to get in on it, we got a pair of seats donated to us. Great seats, lower bowl. Orders go twice. So you want to go to the game tomorrow night, you can bid on that. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Speaking of that, we have some bids coming in. Chris was the first one in at 1,000. Parker's in at 1,600. And we have bid up to $2,000. Just want to make sure I get the name right. Jim is up to $2,000. So we're off and running on the furnace, courtesy of Legacy Heating, brand new furnace, Goodman, 90% high efficiency furnace, comes with all the bells and whistles. You get even remove your old furnace. That's a big, huge bonus part of it, right? Like, it's a big deal. So all helping out the Christmas Bureau today. So 833-401-1440 on the furnace, 833-401-1440. And if you want to get on the tickets, you can do that for tomorrow night. So you got a little time to plan. Tomorrow night, the Oilers and the Wild should be a hell of a game. Also on the weekend in the NFL, it's a crazy weekend. There was some games that, hey, how many of us thought the Panthers were going to win that game? But good on the Panthers, man. That's a huge win for them to keep their playoff hopes alive. They're right in it. The Chicago Bears had a big win. Now, that was on Friday, of course. You look at San Francisco was able to get a win. Houston pulling closer to Indianapolis. You had Tampa Bay gets a late win. Jacksonville looked really good. What about Seattle's defense? Hands up. Anybody cons? Anybody else have Seattle's defense on their fantasy team that maybe might have won them the league or might have won the week? Because I know I did in both of my leagues. They were unreal. So I thought it might have been out in the Guillotine League. Now I have a 30-point lead on the guy who's in last place. But he has Wan'Dale Robinson. Now, he did get 30 points before, so never say never. But feeling fairly confident that he's not going to put up a 30 spot tonight. I hope not, anyway. Then you move on in Guillotine, because you don't have to be first. Just don't be last, Connor Halley.
Yeah, kind of a cool wrinkle in that one. I, like you, did start the San Francisco 49ers defense. With all due respect to Shitter Sanders, we thought the weather might play a factor in it as well, which I really did like. But yeah, fun week in the NFL. Good for the Chargers beating up on the Raiders, which I always like to see as well.
Well, they should.
As you're supposed to.
Mhm.
But it was a really fun week, and should be an interesting one tonight. Curious when we get Alex on the show later on. Do Patriots fans still have any ill will towards the New York Giants after ruining their perfect season? It's been a long time, but I sports fans are petty. I'm sure there's still some bad blood there.
Yeah. Do you think Oilers fans still dislike Carolina? Yeah, I think they do.
Just a little.
Yeah, I think they do for sure. So get into to all of that. Sean Brown will join us on the show. Brownie, how you doing?
Good. I was doing a little Christmas shopping there when I had to turn around and head home here. So tried to get an early start while my wife is out of town.
Oh, really? Look at you shopping. Did you buy that sweater today?
Oh no, this is an oldie. This is actually free. I think I'm wearing everything other than my hat. That's free. If it's free, I'll wear it.
If it's free, just hey guys, Sean Brown walking billboard for you. He'll wear it. No problem. Brown, the Oilers game in Seattle, start to finish, I thought was their most complete game of the year. Every facet of their game was sharp.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about it, that the Oilers play better when they play with emotion. I mean, everybody plays better when you play the game with emotion. It's a very emotional game, and it was very encouraging, obviously, with what's been happening leading up to that game. You knew that there was going to be some tough conversations, right? Knobloch talked about it in some of his media scrums there, that he was going to, it sounded like he was going to have some one-on-ones, which, if anyone's been in that situation that's played hockey, they can be uncomfortable. And I think that, different times during the season, coaches, have to kind of have a reset with guys and kind of lay out expectations and get, a clear identity of what guys need to do for teams to be successful. So, what a response. I mean, I think it was very encouraging for all of us to see that not only did they win 4-0, but just the fact that it looked like it was a team that was playing together, that was sticking up for each other. And, I know they took a lot of penalties and some of them looked a little unnecessary and maybe a little retaliatory, but like I as a coach or someone watching the game, I don't mind that every once in a while, because usually you kind of kill those penalties off and it just is a sign of a good team. Yeah.
Well, that 5-on-3 in the first period, right? Like that was a massive kill. Skinner made a few big saves, but for the most part, they kept Seattle. Now their power play is not very good, and I think we saw it on that 5-on-3. And you go into that first period intermission, Brown, and that 5-on-3, it just gives you a huge amount of juice going into the intermission.
Yeah, I mean, especially because on a 5-on-3, I mean, that the other team's going to get their looks and they're going to get their shots, and it's really going to come down to the PK guys getting in shooting lanes, and someone's going to have to eat one. And as you said, your goalie's going to have to make some big saves. So, as a team that's sitting on the bench, you're looking for different rallying points in areas of the game that you can kind of build off of. So that was huge. I mean, Stuart Skinner, gave the Oilers a chance by, the way he played, the consistency, in the 3 periods of hockey that he played. It was a big game. He needed to come up big. Their star players needed to come up big. And they did. And, I think we've talked about it before, Gregor, where, certain games and after certain victories, you kind of look to build off of it. I don't know. What do you think? Is there enough for the Oilers? We said it before. Was there enough in that game for them to build off of to take into Minnesota?
Well, God, they have to, right? Like you should. And what Adam Henrique said today goes, hey, we thought there was other games this year that were like a building off point, and it didn't really lead into that. Like the Oilers have won twice in a row this year, 2 games in a row, I think 3 times, but neither time did they play well in both games. Yeah. Right. And so I think Henrique is bang on. He goes, yeah, that was a really good game. But if we fall back into our same habits, it just ruins it. So almost makes it worse. So yeah, they've got to find a way. And I like the fact that they're actually taking on Minnesota tomorrow night, because you've played well, so you got confidence, but you also know, man, we're playing one of the hottest teams in the league. We got to be ready to go here. And the Oilers have been pretty brutal at home, their last 3 home games, right? Like I know they won against Columbus. They kind of got lucky, whatever, that late Wallman tying game goal, their own goal by Columbus. But you look at, they've allowed 21 goals in their last 3 home games. Like, they need to play better on home ice.
Yeah, there's no free lunches in this league anymore, right? I mean, the good teams are good, but even the teams that, are at the bottom, there's no guarantee. But, it's good and it's bad because did they not lose to Buffalo 3-2, I think, their last game? So they're going to come in here and they're going to, be trying to try to play the right way and get their team back on track. And, I think, for the Oilers too, I mean, everyone coming into Edmonton, this is a measuring stick for, I think, all, Kaprizov and all superstars that come into Edmonton. You have a chance to play against the 2 best players. I'm sure that those big boys and the top players get excited when they come, to play against the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah. Oh, 100% they do. And the Wild, Edmonton is still the team that's won the West the last 2 years. So there's always going to be a little bit of a measuring stick. And, hey, you got to be on your game when you play them. And the Wild come in here red hot. Their goaltenders are feeling it. Their defense is feeling it. Their forwards are feeling it. And so I think actually tomorrow night, man, I know it's a Minnesota Wild Tuesday game, but this is going to be different than most Minnesota games we've seen in the past. Like, honestly, I think now I say that and it's probably going to be a 1-0 snooze fest, but I actually think tomorrow's going to be, a really entertaining game.
Yeah, I do remember back when I was playing, you'd play Minnesota and it wasn't, their style of hockey. It was never overly exciting. And it seemed like it was always on a Tuesday or Wednesday, but obviously times have changed. They got some really good players. The game that I would really like to see, would be interested in, is obviously the Seattle game. That, the way Marchment plays and after, the game that they just played on the road, there should definitely be some emotion, but you don't want to look too far away. But it's kind of, when the Oilers play that style with their skill, they emotionally invest in the game. I mean, they have some toughness, right? And they're a very fun team. And I think the Florida Panthers have kind of set that standard as far as how you want to play. You want to play with some skill. You want to play with some toughness and some grit. And I think a lot of teams are trying to find that perfect mix.
Jason Gregor, Sean Brown with you, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Bill came up to $2,500. Now Gary's in at $2,800 on our month of giving. That's a great first opening segment. I love it. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We're helping out the Christmas Bureau today. We are auctioning off big thanks to Legacy Heating and Cooling. They donate either your choice. You get to pick. You get the furnace or the AC unit. They're both Goodman. The high Energy Star efficiency furnace. Of course, it's 2-stage variable gas furnace, includes all the permit and inspection fees. They'll take away and dispose of your old furnace. Comes with a Wi-Fi smart thermostat and 10-year parts and labor warranty. If you get the AC unit, it's a Goodman GLXS3B with the evaporator coil, pad bracket, electrical connections, permit, inspection fees included, the Wi-Fi smart thermostat, and a 10-year parts and labor warranty. So that's up to $2,800 now. But Gary, obviously we're not close to retail, but it's a good start. 833-401-1440. We're helping out the Christmas Bureau. We'll take a quick break, come back. Wyshynski joins us on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Your New Year's Eve plans just got a major upgrade. On the Rocks is throwing the ultimate party to launch you into the new year with a bang. The legendary Tallboy is hitting the stage live, providing the soundtrack for an unforgettable night. A 3-course dinner is available to kick things off before the main party starts. This is how you celebrate New Year's Eve. Dinner and a party tickets are available now. Book your spot online at ontherocksyeg.com.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice. EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365. UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking. Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service. Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project. Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Mr. Rooter decorates a gingerbread house.
Wow. What did you do here, Mr. Rooter?
Well, we've got a Jube Jube toilet, complete with an icing base wax seal. The main water line is licorice, red for hot, black for cold. you got your standard marshmallow hot water tank and a candy cane sewer line. And on the outside, candy corn hose bibs. Disgusting, but they get the job done.
To have your Yule clogs fixed, trust one plumber, Mr. Rooter.
More Edmonton families than ever are struggling as food prices skyrocket. The Holiday Hamper Foundation provides festive meals for 2,000 homes in need. Your donation ensures a turkey is on the table for every family. Donate today at holidayhamper.ca.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sandy dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Don't think so. I think he's in the Middle East or something. Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$27. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. Jim's in at $3,100 now for our month of giving package. As we rock and roll, you get the choice of your furnace or AC. Also, we got a $200 bid on the Orders and a wild ticket tomorrow night. Pair of seats, lower bowl, where the Orders attack twice. Great seats. Thanks to Mike for donating those. So if you want in, 833-401-1440. Of course, all the money goes to charity for the month of December in a month of giving. I love it. So thank you very much. Jason Gregor, Sean Brown with you, as of course it was a busy weekend in the National Hockey League. More injuries and more freak injuries. Now it's Toropchenko. He's got scalding burns. Like, that is 3 significant off-ice injuries, not to mention all the on-ice we talked about. But Jack Hughes gets hurt, slices himself at a team dinner. He's out a month to 6 weeks, maybe long. Well, actually was at 6 to 8. Think. Then you had Losterinen has a barbecue incident. He's already missed 6 games, missed a few weeks, and he's going to be out longer. And now Toropchenko is going to be out a few weeks from scalding burns to his leg. So that is quite the stretch of off ice injuries. Not to mention all the on ice injuries. Right now, the New Jersey Devils lead the NHL with 127 man games lost due to injury. You've got the Panthers at 115. You got the Canucks lead at 131. Those are the 3 teams with 100, and then Dallas is at 98. The Oilers are at 91. That's why I say Dallas is the one team, man. They get healthy, watch out. Edmonton, I think, is still good, but there are some teams like Detroit. Got the fewest man games lost in the league, and they're in 5th place. That does not bode well, I think, if you're a Detroit Red Wings fan, at least for me. So we shall see. Let's go around the NHL right now, brought to you by McDonald's. Stop in at McD's, of course, any day $9.99. You can get the 2 cheeseburger meal with medium fries and a drink or the chicken filet of fish, chicken McChicken, and more. Only at McDonald's. As Greg Wyshynski from ESPN joins us. And Greg, I'm actually surprised there wasn't an article out from Greg Wyshynski today listing all the freakish injuries we've had in NHL history.
I mean, we just cover them one by one. I think it's better for SEO that way. But I got to say that, like, you know, at the very least, these guys have never been more relatable. You know, who among us hasn't, you know, cut themselves on broken glass or scalded their skin with boiling water? I think it's hockey players. They're just like you and me, Jason.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Dude, it is funny though. Like, hey, I've luckily I've never, like, I burnt myself, you know, on cooking. You know, you burn your finger, touch a stove stupidly or something. But, you know, knock on wood, I've never had a significant burn. I actually just read Aaron Volpatti's book about the burns. He had like 40% of his body second-degree burns, and he still ended up going to the NHL. It's crazy. But
goodness,
yeah,
wow.
It's actually a really good book. You might want to read it. You should check it out. It's a pretty interesting story. But you look at some of these teams that are, well, you know, some guys are hot off the ice for all the wrong reasons. There are some teams on the ice that are pretty hot. The Colorado Avalanche off to a great start. The Minnesota Wild and the Dallas Stars, like the Central Division right now, those top 3 teams, man, it's looking like it's going to be an absolute slugfest down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, it also looks like if you're the you know, the Utah Mammoth or the Winnipeg Jets or if the Chicago Blackhawks decide to kind of hang around for a bit longer, your entry point is going to be the wild card. It's pretty much guaranteed right now based on how good the top 3 in the division are. But, you know, the Jesper Wallstedt of it all for the Minnesota Wild, I think, is a very exciting development for them. You know, it's funny. I was just having a discussion with somebody about NFL quarterbacks, being a Jets fan, and obviously looking forward to whoever will be our next franchise guy. And the idea of how long an NFL team should allow their next franchise quarterback to percolate, to hold the clipboard. And you know, in some cases like Jordan Love in Green Bay, it worked out great because he didn't have to come in right away. And in other cases, guys have to come in right away and they get whacked. And I've always been very impressed and interested in seeing how patient the Wild have been with Wallstedt, because other teams might have rushed a kid with that much talent up a little bit sooner to take over the crease.
Yeah.
They were more methodical with it, and I think it's really paid off. But, you know, the team that you mentioned before, Dallas, I mean, that's, like you said, when they get healthy, if they get healthy, and start getting some of these guys back. I mean, you know, Matt Duchene's played 4 games for them, for example. That's such an interesting collection of players. And you know, so far they've won the bet that moving off of Pete DeBoer didn't mean a dip in success in the regular season with Glenn Gulletson behind the bench, and one assumes that'll just continue to be the case. And they're, you know, for as good as Colorado is, you've got Dallas waiting in the weeds in that division.
Greg, with Craig Berube kind of rattling the cage a little bit in Toronto by sitting a couple of his better players, Domi and Dakota Joshua, do you see any issues with that? Is that, you know, something that's kind of good for the morale of the team, that nobody's safe if you're not playing the way you should?
Well, you know it. I mean, like, you're trying to do anything you can to light a fire under that team right now, considering the way that the standings look and the way that the trajectory of that season's gone. I mean, my God, I was looking at the prospective betting on who's going to make the playoffs, and to see the yes answer for the Maple Leafs be plus money at this point, it's kind of jarring when you consider how regular season success came so naturally to them. It's such a weird team. Obviously, like we were talking about at the start of the conversation, you know, injuries have befallen them in a pretty significant way too. Not only missing Austin Matthews for a number of games, but this Brandon Carlos situation now where he just can't seem to get healthy is seriously impacting a blue line that had also been missing Chris Tanev for a good period of time. So, you know, it's interesting that like some of the names I just mentioned, when it comes to what I think has been one of their big problems this year, which is their compete level, you throw some of those guys in the lineup and maybe that kind of reverses course. But with the injuries being what they are and with the season having gone the way it's gone, I think Berube at this point just trying to throw darts at the dartboard and see what sticks, because nothing's really kind of functioning as it should right now for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, well, there's a few teams like that. And, injury, like, the Maple Leafs themselves, but also specifically Austin Matthews, Greg. Like, you're not even he's not even a point a game player. And there's a few games I've watched. And now, before he got injured the last time, he had 4 goals in 5 games, was looking good. But there's a few games I've watched here. He doesn't even look like a threat.
Yeah, I mean, and his health situation has been so murky and mysterious, I think, in the last 2 seasons. It's hard to really put a finger on, what's ailing him and what needs to correct and all that stuff. But let's not forget, too, that from a point production standpoint, the Toronto Maple Leafs right now have the 25th best power play in the league. And this is where we come back to the biggest issue with this team, and the one that they aren't going to really be able to address in a sufficient way, which is the loss of Mitch Marner. And for all the things that Mitch didn't do in the postseason, he did everything in the regular season. He was a 200-foot player. He was a 100-point winger, which is, not, those don't grow on trees. And he certainly contributed to them on special teams as well. So when you start to see some of the point totals on players like Matthews take a dip significantly, and you look at where their power play is right now, it's not really a shock to see the impact losing Marner had on their regular season. And, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Matias Maccelli, not the replacement for Mitch Marner, in case anybody was hoping that might be the situation.
Yeah, shocking. No, but it wasn't just him. It was also Nick Roy. And I remember people trying to say, yeah, we got rid of Mitch Marner, but look at all the guys we replaced. I'm like, yeah, exactly. I will take quality over quantity most times. Especially when the quality is a pretty good player. They miss Mitch Marner. I don't think there's any question, but their goaltending numbers aren't even close. And I don't think that has to do much with Mitch Marner. No offense to Mitch, but
that's also injuries too, because they were missing Wall for a good period of the season as well. So, and Stolarz is an interesting one because, Anthony Stolarz and the Calgary Flames have something in common, which is that for the majority of last season, we got to hear people wax poetic about how beautiful and wonderful and great these things are. And then when both things turned south this year, nary a peep from some of the people that were overpraising Stolarz and the Calgary Flames. It's funny how that works.
Yeah, it's true. What about the Panthers, Greg? Like Barkov and Tkachuk, we knew it was going to be tough without them, but they got 115 games lost. You got Losterinen out, Gadjevich, lots of guys. Pretty much every line has lost a guy. You throw Kulikov in. And I just think over time, like the Barkov and Tkachuk injuries, they just catch up with you, because you can have guys play 10 or 15 games where maybe they can be a top 6 winger or top 6 center, but you can't do it for 40 games. Are you concerned at all about the Panthers and where they're at?
I mean, not particularly, because I if you look at the way that the East is stacked up right now, despite the fact that the Bruins are punching well above their weight at this point, I still think Florida, when they get Tkachuk back, is going to be able to make a real run up the standings. I think they're going to be better than whoever is lingering in the wild card, and it wouldn't surprise me to see them finish as high as third in the Atlantic when all is said and done. They've done what they need to do, which is tread water. I mean, they're like 1 game over 500. I think they'd probably like to have a few more points at this point in the season. But when you consider the injuries that they've dealt with, not only in losing those big guys when it comes to Barkov and Tkachuk, but like you said, some of the supporting cast has been hurt. They're not getting great performances from some people that they maybe thought were going to contribute a little bit more offensively in a time of need, i.e. Sam Bennett. But our next NHL Awards watch, where we talk to the actual voters, comes out on Thursday. And I'm going to be really interested to see if there is a push for Brad Marchand to get some Hart Trophy love, because although this team is not in a playoff spot right now, the way that he's stepped up as a top line player for them and supplanted the offense that's not on the roster right now in Tkachuk and Barkov has been nothing short of spectacular.
Greg, I'd like to get your insight on the Canadian Olympic roster. Tom Wilson scored 2 goals, got an assist against the Islanders yesterday. Do you think someone like that kind of plays his way onto the roster, or even with the U.S. roster? Is there any surprises that you see there?
Well, as an American, I think Tom is far too good to be on the Canadian roster. I would like you guys to populate that team with as much fourth liners as possible, maybe a few backup goalies, try to make this thing as easy as possible for us. I think the thing about I'll speak on the U.S. team for a second, which is the philosophical debate that has plagued USA hockey for at least the last 2 Olympics that we sent NHL players. It rages on, which is, do you want to send guys that are pure offensive stars that maybe don't have a 200-foot game like other guys do? Or do you want to populate your roster with, Vincent Trocheck's and Brock Nelson's and players like that? And so I feel like this is going to be every time we send NHL players, USA Hockey is going to have this debate on whether, Cole Caulfield should make it, other players like that should make it. And it makes me mental because it's not as if they didn't have enough 200-foot players in overtime against Canada and Four Nations. They didn't have anybody to put the puck in the net against Jordan Binnington. And so I'm hoping that USA Hockey does err on the side of offense and populate the roster with those types of players. But I think at the end of the day, knowing Bill Guerin, he'll probably still err on the side of having veteran 200-foot guys instead of the young bucks with the goal-scoring prowess. But I'll say this about Canada. I think at this point, I'd be really surprised if both Bedard and Celebrini don't make it. I think both those guys have played their way onto the roster right now.
Yeah, I'd be surprised, especially when you got a 14-man roster. I look at Team USA, Tage Thompson's on my team. It's not even a discussion for me personally, right? He's big, he scores a lot of goals. It's not like Patrice Bergeron's one of those elite players who's really good defensively, and pretty good offensively. He's never been an elite player offensively. So that's why I always chuckle when people say two-way. Two-way is the polite way of saying they're not great offensively, so we call him a two-way player. But I look at the States and I'm like, just bring your best players and let them figure out if they want to win. They'll know that in a certain time, guess what? They're not stupid. They know when to pinch and when not to. I'm with you. It seems kind of odd to me. The fact that Kyle Connor was a healthy scratch and that I'm still stunned by that in the Four Nations game. I didn't get it.
It's insane to get 35 seconds of an injured Matt Tkachuk in that game. That's why Kyle Connor got scratched essentially. But yeah, I'm with you. And again, knowing the brain trust behind this team, I'm sure it'll go the opposite direction from having the Kyle Connors and Cole Caulfields and Clayton Keller types on this roster, Logan Cooley, players like that. But we'll see where it lies. I mean, it's a good problem to have for the Americans, having too much offensive talent from which to choose. It's not always been like that for my nation, so I can't complain too much. But on the Tage Thompson front, I mean, also keep in mind, he just missed the cut. He just missed the cut to the point where when they wanted to have somebody in injury reserve for the gold medal game, Thompson was in the building in Boston as that guy. So he was already on the cusp of making it, and I don't think he's done anything in the early part of the season for Buffalo to dissuade that.
One last one for you. The Buffalo Sabres. Because I know you're a Jets fan in football, so you know a thing or two about losing. What would you do if you're the Buffalo Sabres?
I mean, we have as a New York Jets fan, the Buffalo Sabres are winners. We have a longer playoff drought than they do, for God's sakes. I don't know, man. It's just so frustrating to be having to have these conversations about this franchise yet again this season. They're dead last in the conference. They've -10 underwater on goal differential. Once again, getting, like you mentioned, good performances out of Tage Thompson. Alex Tuck is certainly singing for his supper from a contract perspective. And, they did a pretty decent job getting it in their return for Peterka. as Josh Doan with increased ice time has played pretty well for them. They had their season interrupted with the Rasmus Dahlin off the ice thing, which was unfortunate. And, the goaltending remains kind of a chaotic mess where, for maybe 1 week, there looks like there might be a solution. And then the next week you're like, well, we might as well just end the season now. They're just so disjointed. They've got some good pieces here and there, but I said this before the season about them. Like, at some point, you have to, like, you can't be a hen sitting on an egg for the rest of your life. Like, at some point, you have to take some of these younger players and package them together and get known quantities. The Peterka situation, I think, was more along the lines of he didn't want to play in Buffalo anymore, so they moved him. But like some of these other guys that have shown potential but haven't found actuality for it in Buffalo, like at some point you have to turn those guys into other guys. And I wonder if that's going to be a Kevin Adams thing or if it's going to be whoever succeeds him there. But it's just clearly a broken team right now.
Greg, as always, buddy, good stuff. We will chat with you again soon. We wait patiently for the announcement for both rosters. Although the way the injuries are going, somebody's going to get announced on the roster, and then sadly will have to be replaced before the Olympics.
I mean, the optimist in me says at least Jack and Tkachuk and some of these other guys will be well rested for Italy, but that's probably not what their NHL teams have in mind.
Yeah, no, very true. Very true. That is Greg Wyshynski from ESPN. You can read his stuff at ESPN.com. It's always entertaining. He's got multiple podcasts too. Check him out on X. Take a quick break. Jason Gregor, Sean Brown. We're up now to, we got a few bids in. We had 34, then Bill came in at $3,500, and now Jim is in at $3,700 for a month of giving. We'll tell you what when we return on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Oodle Noodle Origins. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudel, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudel was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as Oodle Noodle.
Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll off the tongue, but Japa's team will help keep your construction jobs rolling on time and on budget with heavy equipment sales and rentals. Visit japamachinery.com to find out more.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
Did you know The Brick is proudly Canadian-owned and operated? We started right here in Canada over 50 years ago. Now, our 5,000 team members are proud to be your neighbor in more than 200 communities across Canada. And we support all Canadians with a growing selection of quality-made Canadian products and manufacturers. Nobody knows more about furnishing Canadian homes at the guaranteed lowest price than us. The Brick, saving you more.
Visit thebrick.com and use our store locator to find a Brick store near you.
After 20 years, Canada's most prestigious international hockey tournament returns. The Camrose Viking Cup, December 28th to January 4th at Encana Arena. Tickets at vikingcup.ca. Brought to you by Sports 1440.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks.
ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Heavy Truck Auction is this Thursday at 9 a.m. with Tridom, tandem, and single-axle trucks, including tractors, decks, dumps, plows, vacs, man lifts, pickers, refuse trucks, and more. Info at maauctions.com.
Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea. Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's next Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Industrial Auctions are this Thursday and Friday at 9 a.m. These major events include multiple lanes, selling a large selection of multi-purpose trucks, equipment, and commercial trailers. Info at maauctions.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at cantork.com.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by playalberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Gregor, Sean Brown, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Of course, month of giving continues on. And Gary's up to $4,100 on our package from Legacy. You either choose the furnace or the AC. It's your choice. I got this text from Aaron. Hey, guys, the folks at Legacy just did a change out for me. Whoever wins this will be blown away with their professionalism. Can't say enough about Legacy. Mine came in around $8,600. So there you go from Aaron. Yeah, hey, man. I know Bobby and the crew down at Legacy, they do a ton in the community, and they pride themselves on doing great work. And so that's awesome to hear. I love it. So Gary is up now to $4,100. Everything's going to the Christmas Bureau. Also, though, we have a steal of a deal right now at only $200 for the Oilers and the Wild tickets tomorrow night. So let's get that one up a little bit. $200 for the Oilers and the Wild tomorrow night. Hey, Oilers maybe trying to find their game here a little bit, which would be long overdue, I would say, Brownie. Long overdue to find a little consistency in their game.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I just, can they build off of, their last game? And, that was exciting. I think that, it'll, if they can come out hitting, create that energy. It was interesting when I was at the last game against Dallas and you're sitting in the stands and, we're such a blue collar town and the fans are so passionate. And the one thing, the takeaway that I got was, especially when Clattenburg was on the ice, right? If you compete, finish your check, Oiler fans aren't expecting a lot other than just hard-nosed, gritty, put your best foot forward, right? And, it was interesting watching and listening to the passion of some of the fans. And, there was obviously some, really upset fans, and they were quite vocal. And just listening to the banter back and forth. But when they started hitting and they started competing, it was really nice to see how many fans rallied behind them, right?
Yeah.
And that's what this town is about, right? It's not, we're lucky enough that the expectation is more. It's not that they don't want to see a Stanley Cup or they don't want to see your team win, but, effort for these fans is a non-negotiable.
No, it's true. And as it should be, right? You can, and the Oilers, I think, as a group admitted they weren't playing, and effort's one thing, but also playing smart. Like their puck management, my goodness, it was, I would argue that was a bigger issue than even their energy in a lot of the games here. Like unforced errors, turnovers, gifts. They just had way too many. And that's been something that this team, this group just can't seem to get away from at certain times. They find a way to eventually get back. Now, some would argue that you can't always just keep doing the same thing over and over again and think it's always going to repeat itself, right? So I'm sure they would like a better start at one point. Now, this year was different. The Oilers did play the most games in the NHL. They were the first team to 25 games. 16 of those came on the road. They had a 7-game road trip. It's just facts. Everybody's going to have a tough stretch. But I looked at a team like Colorado, and I looked at their first 2 months, and I compared it to Edmonton. Now, both teams played 5 sets of back-to-back games. The difference was Edmonton had 5 times where they had 2 or more days off between games, and 2 of them came last week, Brownie, in the final week of November. Other than that, they had 3. Colorado had 9. Right. So rest, I believe rest does matter. And that's what's unique about the regular season. So when we say it's 2 seasons, it's because a lot of times you're going to meet a team where maybe you're tired because they've been rested for 3 days, or they're playing back to back, or travel, lots of other things. And it's not bad. It's just, it's not even. When you get to the playoffs, guess what? The regular season ends on Wednesday or Thursday. Then the playoffs start Sunday. Everybody's got a few days rest, and now we go. And sure, if a team wins in 4, they can get some rest. A little bit more than the opposition. But it's not like, oh, we're going to play a team. They're playing their 3rd game in 4 nights and we're fresh. That doesn't happen in the playoffs, right? and it's all good teams. And so when I was looking into Colorado's record, like, and people say, oh, they're going to catch Boston, I'm like, dream on. They've had, by standards, more rest than most teams, and they played a lot of non-playoff teams. Now, they still beat some playoff teams, no question, but they've lost to teams, Carolina, New Jersey, Dallas, Minnesota. So they're 5-4 against, 5-0-4. But to me, that's a loss. Like, yeah, you get a point. It's a loss. And the difference is they played way more non-playoff teams from last year early on, and they've had more rest. Now, they're good. Don't get me wrong. But you watch over the next 2 months, I'm looking at their schedule. Well, now in December, January, they only have 5 sets of 2 or 3 games off. Right? So it's just a difference. You played... I know everybody says, oh, you should never get tired. Well, that's great to say, but it's just not realistic, right? Like, like 15. Well, and it's not even that you're necessarily tired. You're just not going to be at 100% when you've played 6 games in 9 days, and the other team you're playing has played 4 games in 9 days.
Yeah, I mean, they've played a lot of hockey. I think the one good thing, Gregor, that might be missed in this, for how hard and tough it's been early for them, right? They've done a super job of just hanging around. It hasn't been great, but good teams, because like you said, throughout the season are going to go through these highs and lows. And the fact that they've, through their low, have still stood in there and hung in there, like that's a good sign, right? And I think when you have the 2 best players, that makes it possible. But yeah, over the course of an 82 game season, and you're, whether, I know that these guys are treated, very well, they travel well, they stay in nice hotels and food and stuff like that, but it still is a little, there's a grind to it, right? And more of it, probably more mental than anything. And I think having, back in my day, we practice a lot more, obviously, than what they do now, but having some practice time, having some coaching time, I think is important, right? I think, you can go over video and you can talk about systems and stop it and play it, and you should be here and there. But, as an athlete that played, you do need to get your touches, and you do need to be on the ice going through some of your tactics and actually feel and understand where you are on the ice, and just kind of get that, through your head, what it looks like, what it feels like. So I think, having a couple practices, and for the coach to have an opportunity to sit down with guys and coach them. I mean, that side of the game really intrigues me, as far as, the buttons that coaches have to push on players, right? And the conversations that have to be had with players through tough times, because, when I think back in my career, obviously, the game is easy to play. Conversations are easier to have. Everything about being around the rink is easy when you're winning and things are going well. I don't think there could be anything more uncomfortable in a place more uncomfortable to be is a dress room and a rink when you're not winning, right? Everyone puts, a lot of pressure on themselves, and then you have the outside pressure. But I'd be really intrigued to see how, Coach Knobloch, addressed each player, the conversations that were had, right? Because you'd have to have some one-on-ones, and you'd have to, kind of reset and sit back. And I mean, if it was me, I'd, be sitting with players and being like, hey, what do you do? How can you help our team? Like what strengths do you have? And you need to play, like, everyone on that team plays a certain way and is expected to play a certain way for that team to have success. Right. And they clearly weren't having success because guys weren't playing to their identity. I'm sure Knobloch, as he looked down at the bench, was looking at guys thinking, if I put you on the ice, what am I going to get out of you? Right. And I think when they played Seattle, I think there was probably, I bet you him looking down at the bench and throwing guys out, I think he was probably a lot more comfortable, knowing what he was getting from guys.
Yeah, no, that's probably fair. That's the Oil Report, brought to you by Go Auto. 15,000 vehicles to choose from, and a place where they've made over $24 million in donations in the community to various charities and events. Love giving back. GoAuto.ca. And Brownie, you're bang on that. And it's one game, and the coach even said, hey, you hope you build on it. Now the key is tomorrow. And I actually think, and I don't know where you come out with it, we'll talk it after the break, but I actually think facing Minnesota now, who's playing great when you're coming off one of your better games, is actually better than playing a weak team. And we'll get into that after 3 o'clock. Also, Jim's in at $4,400 now on our month of giving package. We'll update you on that. So we had a great first hour of the month of giving. So thanks everybody for everybody who donates Legacy Heating today, and everybody who bids on all the packages and makes donations throughout the month. Let's get to the Con Man Sports 1440 update, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
5 teams on the ice tonight in the NHL. You got the Devils and the Jackets, Penguins in Philly, Sabres host the Ducks taking on the Blues and the Mammoth in San Jose. Defenseman Cal Foote has signed a contract with the Chicago Wolves, AHL affiliate to the Carolina Hurricanes. Foote has not played in the NHL since 2024. While he was a member of the Devils after he was charged with sexual assault. He was acquitted in July. In the association tonight, you've got 9 games. Pistons up against the Hawks. Bucks take on the Wizards. The Clippers in Miami. Magic and Bulls, Mavs, Nuggets, Jazz host the Rockets, and the Suns taking on the Lakers. Week 13, the NFL concludes tonight. An old Super Bowl rematch. Pats Giants from Foxborough, kickoff set for 6:15. And the Edmonton Elks have come to terms on an extension with defensive lineman Noah Taylor through the 2027 season. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll talk some Patriots with Alex Barth of 98.5 The Sports Hub in Boston, and we'll ask 5 questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Your New Year's Eve plans just got a major upgrade. On the Rocks is throwing the ultimate party to launch you into the new year with a bang. The legendary Tallboy is hitting the stage live, providing the soundtrack for an unforgettable night. A 3-course dinner is available to kick things off before the main party starts. This is how you celebrate New Year's Eve. Dinner and a party tickets are available now. Book your spot online at ontherocksyeg.com.
Ho, ho, hold up. Are you pulling my beard? Booster Juice has 2 new booster balls for the holidays this year.
That's right, Santa. The Eggnog Booster Ball and Caramel Pecan Pie Booster Ball are 2 new flavors to put some extra jingle in your step. So are you a pie guy, Santa, or a nog guy?
Both!
Good call. That's extra jolly. Happy holidays from your friends at Booster Juice. Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
As 2025 comes to
Well, a
an end,
magnificent-
GS Construction would like to take the time and thank our crews, our partners, and our communities for another successful year of teamwork and growth. Together, we've helped keep Edmonton and the surrounding area
Monday
moving,
afternoon. How are you? And welcome
everything
to the
running
J-
smoothly.
welcome.
It's been another year of dedication, pride, and hard work the team has put in to make it all possible. To learn more about our people and our projects, visit gsconstruction.ca.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG
Sean Brown, Connor
construction
Halley,
equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. It's not lost on me that this radio ad competes with a lot of other dealerships on the air. So what sets us apart? Honesty. At Northgate, we believe in giving you the very best price we can with the most value possible. We aren't giving away free trips or paying off your credit cards, but it is my promise you will get exactly what you paid for every time. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI, Custom Floors Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
He's heading into the driveway. Temperature's dropping fast, folks. He opens the hood and, oh no, the battery's on thin ice.
Yeah, that's a tough break, Tim. I mean, you can't expect to compete and win with weak parts in your game like that.
But wait, he's made a clutch move. He's gone to Napa Auto Parts for the win. They've got batteries, winter-grade oils, antifreeze, and wiper blades built for cold Alberta conditions.
That's a championship play, Tim.
With over 85 Alberta locations, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 3:00. Hey, we got to get into the Christmas spirit. It's a month of giving. Today, it's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. And we always like to give you a little bit more fun at PlayAlberta.ca. If you go to any wagers, of course, NBA, NFL, NHL, they got it all. College football, if you like. You can also do the Jason Gregor Show special where it combines a few different ones and gives you a little odds boost. So check it out. We got Monday Night Hockey and Monday Night Football as a combination of the Patriots and the Giants for one. And then the because, you know, on this show, we like offense. And Philly and Pittsburgh over 5.5, as well as the Sharks and Utah over 5.5. Little combo for you. So good luck at PlayAlberta.ca. We've actually won our last 3, Connor Halley. Because remember on Friday, we had Oilers to win by 2 on the road and score the last goal. That was the Connor special. And boom, nailed it. Imagine if we would have picked a shutout. Oh, be unreal. Hard to do those, though. Hard to do those. Brownie, did you ever have a shutout for it, or did you ever have like a shutout that got erased late in the game? Like your team's winning 4-0, 5-0, whatever, and the guy loses his shutout in the last minute or so?
Not that I can think off the top of my head. I'm sure it's probably happened. I mean, it's never it's never a good feeling, because at, a certain point in the game, obviously, you're doing everything you can, and you're playing for your goalie, and you're getting down and blocking shots. And I think Henrique actually might've been one of the guys later in the game. Right. It's definitely in the back of your mind that you're thinking like, hey, well, it's, they're hard to get. It means a lot, obviously, stats and numbers. And, so when you get out on the ice, you're definitely thinking about it. I'm sure I probably have a minus. I was probably the guy that probably made the mistake, gave up a pizza, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head,
But the guys on the bench, are like, if you get to 10 minutes left or 15, are you all ready to, okay, guys, he's got a shutout going here? Or is it just an unwritten, everybody knows you don't say anything? Or should you talk about it? How does it work on the bench?
I don't know if I don't think I've ever heard it really, talked about. I think you're so in tuned, with the game and each shift and what each shift means and what each shift needs and what guys need. And, I don't think it really, I think if it needs to be talked, if it needs to be talked about, I find that probably, are you really, are you into the game? Right. Everyone, I think, is pretty tuned in with where everyone's at. And so I would say no. I mean, it, especially you want to, it means so much to guys, and there's nothing, and there's no better feeling, after a game when, you go in the trainer's room and you have ice bags on, or you see guys with ice bags, and you see, that's all of a result of guys playing, for other guys and playing for the team. And that's one thing that, I really appreciated about guys and really learned what it was like to be a pro, was the sacrifices that guys would make, not necessarily for themselves, but for others, whether it was blocking shots. And, I've been in a few fights, and some of them because, I wanted to, because there was an issue I had with the guy, but quite often it wasn't really an issue with me. It was an issue, that you're, settling or, taking care of for somebody else. Right. So, it's always, I do like to watch, coming down the stretch of a game where a goalie does have an opportunity to get a shutout, to see, because to me, it talks and shows the overall health of your team.
Yeah. Jason Gregor, Sean Brown with you, Sports 1440. We're up to $4,500 now on our month of giving package today, courtesy of Legacy Heating and Cooling, where you can choose. You're either going to get a furnace. It's the Goodman GVM 96% energy high efficient furnace. Comes with includes permits, inspection fees, removal and disposal of your old furnace. You get Wi-Fi smart thermostat, and you also get a 10-year parts and labor warranty and a lifetime heat exchanger. If you get the AC unit, it's the GLXS 3B air conditioner, evaporator, coil pad, bracket, electrical connections, the permit, inspection fees, 10-year parts and labor, and of course you get the Wi-Fi smart thermostat. So top of the line, everything's included. You're not paying anything extra. It's a fantastic deal, courtesy of Legacy Heating and Cooling. And all the money raised today is going towards the Christmas Bureau for families who really need just a little jolt. The very simple basics of, like, just, have a meal at Christmas time, and maybe a present for their young child or even a teenager. So we're up to 4,500 now from Dale, 833-401-1448. Actually, Gary just came in at 4,700 now. There we go, Gary. We're up to 4,700. Nice. So if you want in on that, 833-401-1440. And $200 from Mike, the absolute bargain. Orders in the Wild tomorrow night. Great seats, lower bowl. I can get that up to at least face value. So let's get that rolling. We're not face value in either one, but we're getting closer. Well, the tickets for sure. I got a little ways to go on the furnace, but we got a lot of time left. Lots of time on the show today. So we're off to a great start, helping out the Christmas Bureau. And now we're into an even $5,000 from Jim. There we go. 5K. We love it. Love the milestone numbers. Keep it going. 833-401-1440. Other news around the league, Brownie. The injury bug has really started to bite. And I was looking at teams like the Oilers are top 5 in the NHL in man games lost so far. Dallas is 4th at 98. Florida's 3rd. Like, those teams have played a lot, but Vancouver hasn't played much. They lead the league. New Jersey Devils haven't played in a ton of playoff. They're at 127. So, maybe the wear and tear. Now, obviously, Barkov got hurt right before the season began, where Kachuk got hurt last year. Edmonton had guys. Hyman was a carryover from last season late in the year. Wallman got hurt earlier this year. Kapanen got hurt earlier this season. Noah Philp is now hurt. Roslovic injured. So, and he wasn't in the playoffs deep for Edmonton anyway. So I don't know, like maybe there's a little wear and tear at times, Ronnie. It just seems that a lot of it's just luck or lack of luck at different times. But man, there seems to be a lot of injuries across the league right now.
Yeah, it's funny when you know, at the beginning of every season, everyone's got their, picks their favorites for winning the Stanley Cup. And, I think, that's considering it to be, with everyone being healthy, you need a little bit of luck, and your superstars, or at least the ones that we have here. I mean, we got to be very thankful that, not only are they skilled and elite, but, they're tough players, and they're tough in a different way. Not the traditional, I'm going to fight. And I mean, both of them do hit. But they don't play an outside perimeter game. Like they go into all the dirty areas. They take hits to make plays. So we're very lucky that, our star players are holding up very well. And I think that's a combination of probably the time and commitment and how they take care of themselves. And a little bit has to go to the Oilers medical staff, TD Ford and those guys. But, it's, any team, with every game, especially with, the expectation of blocking shots and getting in the shooting lanes. And, there's times that we have our superstars on the PK, right? And they're expected to be in the shooting lane. And, anytime someone's shooting a rubber puck, or sorry, a puck, there's always a chance of a serious injury. Like it just amazes me, the commitment. I went to the Oil Kings game last night too, or yesterday afternoon. And, just the expectation of, from a young age to get into the shooting lane, and some of these kids, whether it's pros or juniors, like they're eating pucks, and, good on them. That's a big ask. But the good teams, they do that. So you need a little bit of luck.
Yeah, I do wonder at what age, though, as a guy who coaches U13, I like to tell a guy, get there close, try to get a stick on it. But my goodness, I don't need kids. Like, this is not your job. And some will say, hey, kids don't shoot it as hard. Well, there's some kids who do. And I get the
block it. You gotta block it. There's not an 8. You got to get in the shooting lane when you're 13.
Oh, no, you can get in the shooting lane, but I'm not going to yell at a 13-year-old kid if he's not perfectly in the shooting lane, is all I'm saying. Like, I've seen a coach freaking out at kids who are, and by the way, they're not 13, they're 11. All right. Like, I do think at times there's got to be a semblance of, like what they do in the NHL is the NHL, right? Yeah. And, major, junior, I get that you want to get there. And so I understand at certain levels, but like I saw a coach on the weekend freaking out at the 12-year-old kid because he didn't get in the shooting lane as perfect as he would like. And I'm just like, we might need, like, there's times where I'm like, really? That's the hill you're going to die on the commitment to your 12-year-old kid.
Yeah. I've seen coaches freaking out. Yeah.
Tier 3.
I've seen coaches freaking out for a lot less. I mean, you could probably do a segment on on minor hockey and some of the things that are said and the way people act.
No, but it is. You're right. Like, hey, the Oilers, guys were in the shooting lane. They're playing better. The injuries, what's funny about a lot of these injuries, like, man, there's been 3 off of the ice, which have been crazy. Scalding burns. We've had a barbecue burn. We've got a guy at a team party, glass in his hand thing. Like, you look at Connor Halley, like, lots of goalie injuries, and most of them don't come from the, like, getting hit by the puck. Right. It's more of like a knee or a hip from moving. They go side to side so much more now. And I know Woodley's talked about, the strain on it. And like, I've been watching practice, Brownie, and I'm actually, like, goalies tell me they face way more rubber in practice than they ever do in a game. Right. Like, it's not even close. Right. Like, I watched the first 10 minutes of practice. I counted one day and I'm like, this guy's just faced 38 shots. And now I know that, guys are coming down, but it's like something like they're wiring them. Right. And it's kind of crazy to me. Like, a goalie will have a game where he, maybe 31, 32 on, and I don't even think there's that many teams averaging that many shots. Now, I should probably look it up as I'm speaking. Like, how many teams in the NHL, as we talk, are averaging even 30 shots a game? You know how many? 5 averaging 30. So I remember counting that once in practice. I'm like, God, 38 shots. I think it was like 12 minutes into the practice. And I'm just like, no wonder the goalies are like, practice is, is where like the NHL probably should have an extra goalie every now and then in practice, because that's where they're getting way more work.
They are special. I don't get it. So, you're obviously at a lot of practices and you see how hard those guys shoot the puck, and goalies are a special breed. And I remember when I was in New Jersey, because Brodeur just, he wanted to see the puck. He didn't want you in the shooting lane. He didn't want stick on puck. He's like, hey, Brownie, if I can see it, I'll stop it. And I was just like, oh my God, I love that, obviously, because I'm like, hey, obviously, you're going to take one at some point when you have to get in the shooting lane and block it. But, I think back to the days I was in Edmonton and we had Ray Whitney's dad, Floyd Whitney, as a backup goalie, and he would come in, Tommy Salo and whoever would leave practice, and poor Whitney would come in, and Larocque would be taking one-timers 10 feet away from him, and Floydie never ever complained, right? But after practice, he would take off his chest protector, and he would have his whole body would just be covered in these little welts of, and it's just like, so yeah, I mean, it's they're special and unique at what they do. I mean, they're well protected, but still, I mean, quite often in junior and once in pro, you have these optional fun skates, and guys will switch with a goalie, and a goalie will put on the player's equipment and the player will put on the goalie equipment. I did it once. Yeah. And it was funny how scared I was of the puck with all this equipment, but yet, give me my hockey equipment and I was fine. It was weird, but it's just, it gave me a real appreciation of who can shoot it.
Yeah. No, it's true, because you're probably in the game. You're like, well, I'll go to block the shot, and maybe it's going to hit me or not, and you're not even because you're just used to it, right? You conditioned yourself. But now you're standing there. You're kind of like, well, I'm stationary, and the puck's coming at me. Yeah. It's going to feel worse, probably, right? Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, goalies. I have all the respect for goalies. Like, I would never play the position. Like, one of our goalies actually just got a new chest protector. I'd tell it, like, you got to get a new chest protector, buddy. Like, it was like at times I looked like I'm like, I don't think his padding's any better than some of the defensemen are wearing.
I'm bad for goalies because obviously I run hockey camps and development camps, and goalies, you just want a goalie, and I'm always telling them, I'm like, listen, I don't know anything about goalies, so when you get tired, just take go off to the side, take a break, and I swear the goalies are getting, they're getting at least 100 shots, and it's just. They never complain. A good goalie when they're not complaining and they just hang in there and grind away.
Yeah. Yeah. Jason Gregor, Sean Brown with you here on Sports 1440. When we come back, we got Kevin Woodley coming up. Speck is back. We're having some fun today at the rink. Speck, of course, he celebrated his 60th birthday. That's why I was off last week, went on a little trip, and he's now a senior. And but then there is the super senior, Jimmy Matheson over there. It's like close 75. And oh God, Tchaikovsky was celebrating that he was getting discounts at some of the restaurants that he went to on this last road trip. And he was so excited. So hey, you know what? Hey, there's perks to getting older at times. You might be a little more sore in certain areas, but hey, you're getting who doesn't want the seniors discount? Are you kidding me? I don't know what it is, but I'd say Brownie. Like, I know you're one of the guys.
All over it, hey?
You're just like, what? Oh, what do I get a discount for? Oh, for sure, I'm in. Oh, that's the Sean Brown.
If you hang out with them, do you get the same discount?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why don't you pay for the bill? Does everybody get it? Yeah. Oh, that's a good question. Oh, we love it. So we got Speck coming up. We got Woodley, Tater's 2-minute warning. We're going to talk some NFL crazy weekend. Some teams, are they for real? Do you believe in the Bears? What about the Broncos? And the Patriots right there, some teams that maybe we didn't think would be this good are suddenly really good. Or are they? We'll discuss it next on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle.
Noodle, 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 oodle, noodle, noodle.
Throw a load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
I'm making my list, checking it twice. And guess what? I'm giving Wilhock beef jerky to everyone, naughty and nice. Because honestly, everyone deserves a taste of Alberta's finest, no matter if they've been bad or good. So this holiday season, skip the chocolates and pass on the turkey. Make sure you're Wilhocking around the Christmas tree with Alberta's best beef jerky. Ho, ho, ho!
Call to place your pre-order today at 780-986-2537.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
I'm Grant Fedork from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and sadly, some people think orthotics are just glorified shoe cushions. But I've seen a runner drop 8 minutes off her marathon, a grandmother ditch her painkillers, and a 12-year-old nail her long jump, all thanks to custom foot orthotics. So if your feet are screaming for help, flat, high, or funky, that pain's heading to your knees, hips, even your lower back, our professionals will assess you and, if indicated, custom fabricate a pair of orthotics made just for you. Happy feet make a happy person. Feet shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Oh man, they're rerunning the some of the worst losses in Super Bowl. Oh geez, that Norwood kick still brutal. That is a tough one, man. That is a tough one. Welcome back. It is the Monday edition of the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Matt is in now at 5,200 on our auction item today, courtesy of Legacy Heating and cooling. You can choose on a Goodman high efficiency furnace, or you get the Goodman 5-star AC unit. Comes with they'll dispose of your old furnace. They give you all of everything comes included with it. 10-year warranty on parts and all of that. All of the permits, inspection fees, all of that's included. It is a 2-stage variable speed gas furnace, in case you're wondering. And, comes with the Wi-Fi smart thermostat for both of them. So it's a fantastic deal on each one. It's up to $5,200 now from Matt. If you want in, all you got to do is text in your name and your bid. Very easy. So 833-1440. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Super simple. Now, let's get to our NFL report brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. They are hiring. If you're looking to work for a fantastic company where you get a hiring bonus, you'll get RSP matching, tuition reimbursement, and a very competitive wage for a great company. Apply today, legacyheating.ca. And NFL, man, hands up anybody who thought the Broncos would be at the top of the AFC, although the Patriots are right behind them and they play tonight. And then you got the Jacksonville Jaguars at 8-4, right? You go into the NFC. The Chicago Bears are 9-3 at the top of the NFC, of course, tied with the Rams. Who'd have thunk that at the start of the year? Not me. I will tell you that. And that's what makes sports so awesome. Alex Barth from 98.5, the Sports Hub, joins us. And Alec, let's be honest, in Patriots land, how shocking of a result is it right now that they are atop? They have with a chance to stand alone with their 11th win if they can get it tonight.
I mean, people are surprised. Look, we knew going into the season, thanks for having me, guys, that it was they had an easy schedule ahead. Their roster had improved. There was an expectation that they would be better. There was an expectation for them to be a playoff team. A lot of people were talking about a 9 or 10 win season, and here they are at 10 wins with just over a month to go. So people aren't surprised that they're better, but maybe some surprise that they're this much better.
What do you see as, like, it might be too easy for me to say Drake May, but like, give me two reasons, not Drake May, why the Patriots are 10-2.
Well, they're playing much cleaner football. When Mike Vrabel was hired in his introductory press conference, he was talking about the pillars of his program, and the first thing he cited was being able to take advantage of bad football. This was a team that had not taken advantage of bad football the past few years. They had shot themselves in the foot with their own bad football, and they've just played a much cleaner game this year. They're making way fewer mistakes, and they're taking advantage when the other team does make mistakes. That would be reason one. Reason two is they're much better in the trenches. Now, their offensive line's banged up tonight, so this is going to be a tough test. But overall, they drafted Will Campbell and Jared Wilson. They signed Morgan Moses and Garrett Bradbury on offense. The offensive line, which was terrible last year, has been notably improved. And then adding Milton Williams and Caleb Vaughn Chason and Harold Landry up front, they've actually had a semblance of a pass rush this year, which they didn't have. And they've been much better against the run. So I would say cleaner football and being better in the trenches.
Brownie?
Yeah, I'm curious about, I know it's not the Pats, but I'm curious about Shedeur Sanders. And I mean, he's an athlete that to me just is oozing with confidence. And, I would love to see this guy succeed. What are your thoughts on, I know the 49ers spoiled his first home game, but what do you think of his performance and what can we look for, Shedeur down the road?
Yeah, it's a tough spot because there's so many expectations for him as a 5th round pick. And, the organization took a quarterback ahead of him, which makes things tough. I think he has some tremendous physical abilities, his arm, the way he sees the field. He just needs to be better at playing in structure. And some of that is at Colorado. He had a really bad offensive line, and so he had to create out of structure. He had to run around. He's actually at his best when he's set throwing in the pocket, but he hasn't had a ton of opportunities to do that. So some of it is there's just not a lot of talent around him. I liked him in the draft. I thought he was, late 1st round pick, early day 2 pick. He has some areas of his game he needs to work on. He's not the elite tier athlete that some of these top tier quarterbacks are coming into the league right now, but he has some tools. He just needs to he's in a bad situation right now. He needs to be in a situation that's better around him in order to maximize that.
You look at, the Patriots and Vrabel and what you said, kind of how he brought in, and obviously things have worked well. Right now in the AFC, like it's almost like maybe we're seeing a little bit of change in the guard. The Chiefs, who have been dominant for years, they're average right now. And what's interesting is they're average at actually finishing drives. I saw a stat today about how the last 4 weeks where they're 1-3 and they're a top 3 team all the way till the 20, and suddenly they can't finish drives. And they can't even finish drives from inside the 10-yard line. Like, it's kind of wild. There's so many stats to look at. Like, where do you, like, when you look at the Broncos and then you look at the Patriots and then there's the Bills and then there's maybe the Chiefs and the Jaguars, and like, is there one team you look at and say, I think this is the best team? Or is there just a lot of really good teams, but none that are dominant in the AFC?
No, it's wide open. I don't think you can, there's not like that one team that you definitively say is better than everybody else. I think the Patriots and Broncos have set themselves apart. Both of those teams have a tremendous home field advantage. So you want to talk about them potentially meeting in the playoffs. Well, where's that game at? The Patriots also have some injuries that they're dealing with that could impact that. The Colts are really banged up now. Daniel Jones is trying to play through a broken leg somehow, and then they lost Sauce Gardner on Sunday. So they fall back to the pack a little bit. Houston probably is the best defense. I wouldn't sleep on the Texans.
Yeah.
But their offense has been hit and miss this year, and they've struggled. And then you have the old guard, the Bills, the Ravens, and the Chiefs, who the NFL is not built for sustained success. There's different currents at play that kind of drag the good teams down, and those three teams, for different reasons, are getting caught in those currents. So, and then you have, like you said, the Jaguars are in the mix as well, and the Chargers, and these teams that we've seen kind of flash but haven't been good consistently. It does feel totally wide open in the AFC.
Well, what's wild is a few weeks ago, the Colts looked safe. Now, all of a sudden, they're tied with the Jags. They're one game ahead of the Texans, who have won 4 in a row, and their starting quarterback, as you mentioned, has a severe health issue. And Jonathan Taylor, who was running, wild early on the last few weeks, has just been average. And the Colts could literally, in a span of 3 weeks, go from first to third and then be battling to make the playoffs. It's wild.
That's the NFL. That's why it's great. It's a week-to-week league. And I would say of the three teams that were kind of pulling ahead of the pack, the Patriots, the Colts, and the Broncos, the Colts were probably punching above their weight the most. I think they were overperforming the talent on their roster more so. And look, the Patriots and Broncos are doing that too. Yeah. But I think the Colts are doing it to a greater extent. So I do wonder if there's some regression to the mean there with Indianapolis. On top of, again, you have the injury to Daniel Jones, you have the injury to Sauce Gardner. It's tough for these bell cow running backs like Jonathan Taylor, who get 25, 30 touches a game week in and week out once you get into December. I just think there's probably too many forces working against the Colts right now for them to stay at that level with the Patriots and Broncos.
What do they have to be concerned about tonight? Your Dart comes back in. He's pretty electrifying, young quarterback. What's the major concern if you're the Patriots defense?
For the Patriots defense, I think it's Dart running the ball. The Jets came here a couple weeks ago, also in prime time, and Justin Fields was up and down the field running the ball, especially early in the game. So they got to make sure that they have contained on Jackson Dart. They don't let him beat them with his legs. Now, they don't have as many weapons to worry about with Malik Neighbors out, and the Patriots should be able to use a QB spy. I worry about Dart running. The big concern for the Patriots with me overall, though, I mentioned it earlier, Will Campbell and Jared Wilson are out. Garrett Bradbury is questionable. They might have a real Patrick offensive line against the Giants front that has underperformed this year but has serious talent. And do they get to Drake May? Do they hit Drake May? Do they get him sped up? And it could quickly start to look like last year for this offense.
When you look around the league and you see the quarterback play and the importance of a guy like Drake May, who, came in not overly hyped, I don't think, and maybe underhyped a little bit compared to where he went to some of the other guys. And now he looks really good. After having seen him up close and personal, what does he do best? And what's like the ceiling potential for Drake May?
What he does best, so in a macro sense, what he does best is learn and improve. It's crazy how many times this year we'd come out of a game and you're assessing his performance and it's like, okay, well, he needs to do this better. And then the next week he's doing that thing at a very high level. And that kind of happened 4 or 5 times. And he's young and everybody knew there were areas he was going to have to improve. The rate of improvement is tremendous. If I had to actually give you like a mechanic, his ability to create off structure, when the play breaks down, to extend the play with his legs, but not force himself into being a runner and continue to look to throw the ball down the field. That's the most valuable skill for an NFL quarterback. It's the hardest skill for an NFL quarterback. This is what Mahomes has become a star for doing. This is what Allen has become a star for doing. Justin Herbert, Aaron Rodgers for years and years and years. And Drake May does it at a very high level.
Okay. Switching to one other than in your backyard, Does anybody where's the Morgan Geeky talk just in New England and Boston? Like honestly, this guy's one of the most surprise leading goal scorers in the NHL. He's actually in the calendar year, he's got the most goals in the whole league from January 1st. He's tied right now. He's the second guy to get to 20 goals. How's the Morgan Geeky fandom going in Boston?
It's good. I don't know if you guys saw this. So a couple weeks ago, somebody who actually works at my station, when David Pastrnak scored his 400th goal, the entire Bruins team rushed the ice. And the guy who works at our station, one of our producers, tweeted out that, he didn't get a team rushing the ice for the 400th goal. You don't usually do that. And Morgan Geeky responded on Twitter and told him to stick to his day job. And since then, Geeky's been on an absolute tear. So everybody's been thanking Kevin. But no, they needed that. Everybody knew with the Bruins, the top of the roster, and it's been kind of decimated by injuries here, but you have Pastrnak, you have McAvoy, you think Swayman's going to be bouncing back, and he's done that. Lindholm, the top of the roster is good. It's after the first 4 or 5, the drop-off is so significant. And this is how we viewed it coming into the season. Who from that group would maybe elevate themselves to kind of help raise the floor of this team? And Morgan Geeky's been the definition of that. So as they've been kind of hot and cold, but when they have gotten on these runs and to be in the position that they're in, he's a big part of that, because some of these guys, even if they're really the good players are sort of doing what you counted on them to do. In terms of the guys who are okay, well, who's giving you a little more than you expected to help the Bruins get ahead of where they were projected to be? I mean, everybody points right to Morgan Geeky in the season he's having.
Yeah, that is that's an amazing little story about it. Now for Oiler fans, Alec, right now they're not loving the Trent Frederic signing. Trent Frederic hasn't played very well through 26 games for the Edmonton Oilers, 2 goals. You saw him a lot the last few seasons in Boston. Give Oiler fans a reason to believe that Trent Frederic can get back to being the Trent Frederic he was in Boston. What did he do well when he was, he's a regular 17, 18 goal guy, looked like he was going to be a really solid third line player who could moonlight every now and then in your second line?
2 things. One, I think his production, at least in Boston, kind of came in bunches.
Okay.
So he'd go quiet for a little bit, and then you get a couple weeks of oh, okay, here comes Trent Frederic. I also always thought he was at his best when he was playing with the physical chip on his shoulder. And, when he was trying to kind of be a little nasty and a little bit of an agitator and not so much a, true skill player, and the production would come through that. So I'll be honest, I haven't caught a ton of the Oilers this year. I'm not sure exactly if they're using him in that way, but that guy can find his way to a dirty goal, and that to me is where he's at his best.
Well, definitely he needs a little bit more of that, and to get on a streak. So he's a streaky goal scorer, which lots of guys are in the NHL, so it doesn't surprise me. And obviously the Oilers fans aren't loving the early returns on the 8-year deal, but it is only 26 games in what could be a 800 game deals, or I guess not 800,
right?
640. So they got a while to see if he can find his game, but it would be good. Enjoy the game tonight. And what about the Bruins? Do you think the Bruins can hang on and battle and be a playoff team this season?
It's going to be interesting, because if you look at it, the schedule is already condensed enough because of the Olympics. There's even more so. They've played 27 games already. They have just about I think they have multiple games on hand on everybody else in the Atlantic, and every team but 2 in the Metropolitan. So they're so far ahead of the Eastern Conference. That's part of the reason they're up there in the standings. They got to survive this grueling schedule. It opens up more in the second half, and then you get this advantage where they're going to be more rested than everybody else. If they can continue to hang around and be frisky, well, they're playing what's essentially every other night, a ton of 3 and 4s. It's going to be set up for them to make a nice little push once we get, into the spring.
Alex, great stuff, man. Enjoy the Monday Nighter, and the Bruins. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks for having me, guys.
There you go. That's Alex Barth from 98.5. The Sports Hub. So Drake May, he's been really good. The Patriots, they could win 10 in a row. How many times, Konza, maybe you look it up, how many times in the Brady era did they win 10 in a row? I'm guessing it was a few times for sure. Obviously, that they had the perfect season that year once, so they won, 18 in a row before they lost the final. But I wonder in the regular season, how many times even Brady? Because to win 10 games in a row in football is very difficult. You need a lot of things to go right for your team, no question about it. So for them to win 10 in a row, pretty damn impressive. How many NHL, and because that's 10 in a row, that's spread out over 2.5 months, right? You go 2.5 months without losing. NHL, you can go 3 weeks and a bit on a 10-game heater. I just think it's kind of easier sometimes to maintain that momentum all the time over a 3-week period rather than a 10-week period. So
I can tell you, Gregor, in the Brady era, they once won regular season 21 straight games, 3, then the 16, then the 2 the next year.
Yeah.
They also won 18 straight. This was 5 years apart.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Some good runs.
Well, yeah, they had a few good runs, no question. So that's we'll see if the Pats can get to number 10 tonight. We'll come back. Jason Gregor, Sean Brown with you, Sports 1440. We'll get to 5 questions next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
We want orange. Give us the orange. We want orange. Bring back the orange.
You got it, Canada. Booster Juice orange smoothies are back by popular demand. The original, the marathon, and orangesicle smoothies are back and bursting with tangy zest of oranges. They're Canadian favorites. Orange, you glad they're back? Only for a limited time. So squeeze the day, smoothie lovers, and head to a Booster Juice near you now. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
At GS Construction, we focus on building a culture of collaboration, innovation, and respect. Our teams work together, supporting one another and striving towards shared goals. We're committed to creating a work environment that empowers individuals, values teamwork, and ensures everyone feels respected and safe. With decades of experience in the field, GS Construction prioritizes our people, our culture, and safety. This is what makes us unique. To find out more, go to gsconstruction.ca.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at cantork.com.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
It's Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. It's not lost on me that this radio ad competes with a lot of other dealerships on the air. So what sets us apart? Honesty. At Northgate, we believe in giving you the very best price we can with the most value possible. We aren't giving away free trips or paying off your credit cards, but it is my promise you will get exactly what you paid for every time. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
The Junior Prospects Hockey League's fourth season is now underway. The JPHL offers elite athletic and academic opportunities for players in the 14U, 15U, 17U, and 18U divisions. All games are broadcast live on Silent Ice TV, featuring a showcase-style schedule and competitive matchups across Western Canada. Players work with experienced coaches, trainers, and elite hockey personnel. Learn more about Western Canada's fastest-growing elite hockey development stream at juniorprospectshockeyleague.com.
Picture this. You're sleeping and you're awake, but it's a good day because you're about to make your way to McDonald's to pick up some breakfast. Fast forward, you're there. But what's this? You can now get all those breakfast classics penny style with rich, creamy hollandaise-style sauce. A happy little tear rolls down your cheek. You grab your small McCafe premium roast coffee, still just $1 plus tax every day. And see. Get up and at 'em with the Egg McMuffin. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Enjoy a taste of Hawaii with the Papa John's Aloha Trio. Try the classic Hawaiian, Super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken pizzas for only $19.99 each at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
Tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
348. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. The show is always brought to you by playalberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at playalberta.ca. And remember, when you go there, click on sports and you'll see the quick links. The Jason Gregor Show gets a daily specials where you get extra odds boosts. We've got an NFL one and NHL one tonight. We're thinking offense tonight with some goals. So check that out at playalberta.ca. And man, the bids have come in. I kind of missed a few, so my apologies. Gary came in at $5,600. Jim was at $5,700 now on our auction item, courtesy of ACK from Legacy Heating and Cooling, where you get a furnace or an AC unit. Goodman. You can go to my article today at Orders Nation. You can go to jasongregor.com. And you can see it right on the front page if you want to read all the details. It's even on our socials as well to see all the details. We'll get to it on the furnace. But it comes with everything, inspection fees, everything else. Gary is up to $6,200 now. Gary knows a good deal. We're getting closer to retail value. We're not there yet. We always like to get to retail value, but now we're starting to get into the ballpark. I like it. But it's been a great first. We're not even 2 hours into the show. I love it. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. As we're going to get to 5 questions now, brought to you by The Brick, where they continue their Black Friday price deals on. You can save up to 30% off all furniture, up to $800 off big screen TVs, and 40% off select mattresses at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, guys. Pretty nice win for the Oilers over the weekend, downing the Kraken 4-0. Of all the elements, what would you say was the most encouraging part of the win?
For me, Gregor, I think it was the fact that I felt like they initiated. I think we've talked a lot about them being a team that kind of sits back and kind of more of a reactionary team. I think, when you start to initiate and go after the game and guys are reacting to you, obviously you're going to play different. So that was encouraging to me. And the fact that they stuck together, right? And they stuck together, went after guys, stuck up for each other. When you talk about, wins and things you can build off of, anytime I've been in a dressing room after a game and you've, mucked it up a little bit and you've got into, there's been some fights and some physicality to the game. Those are that's the best way, I think, to kind of galvanize and bring a team together.
Yeah, I like that one. I'm just going to go with the fact that they really never allowed Seattle to have an extended period of time where they were the team who were, I thought, dictating the game. I found Edmonton's been on their heels for long stretches in a lot of games this year, but that didn't happen against Seattle. Had chances, sure, but it was like, okay, one and done, and now we're out. We're not allowing them to go shift after shift after shift. So I thought that was to me the most impressive thing because they haven't done that very much this year.
Question number 2, Minnesota Wild in town tomorrow night. Who are your top 3 athletes to play in the Twin Cities?
All time?
All time.
Oh, God. So Kirby Puckett.
Ooh, I forgot about him.
I'm going to go Kirby Puckett for sure. Well, I might stick Jack Morris. And I'm probably going to go with Randy Moss. Yes, those will be my 3.
Ooh, I like the Kirby Puckett. I'll go Paul Molitor. Yeah, just, obviously for what he did with the Jays as well. Then I'll go Dave Winfield. And I'll go Jack Morris.
Cons, what about you?
Ooh, well, Randy Moss would have been there for sure. Kevin Garnett. And,
good one.
Ooh, man, there's some good players in Vikings past. Former receiver, got Chris Carter as well.
Oh, yeah,
so I'll go 2 Vikings and KG. Question number 3 for you guys. We're in December, so that means World Junior is right around the corner. I want to get your vibes on this one. Scale of 1 to 10. How excited are you guys for the annual event?
Yeah, I mean, it's they've made it quite an event, yes, and the marketing and the buildup and the timing of it all too, right, is nice. I mean, it's a time the year where obviously everyone's getting together for good reason, and then that's just another reason to kind of keep the party going. TSN has just done a fantastic job as far as building that up. So I always get excited. Probably this year, maybe even a little bit more excited, just because we have probably a local kid, Braden Coots, who's probably going to be on that team. So even more reason to kind of pay closer attention to.
I would say, honestly, right now, I'm probably at a 6. It's closer, then maybe I get a little bit more excited, but I don't. I never get too amped up about it. Maybe after Christmas, I'll start thinking about when we were younger. I used to get into a lot more. My son's never really gotten into the World Juniors, so that's probably why now for me, Boxing Day comes and other things. He loves the ODR, so we're out there way more. So I haven't. He'll watch the World Juniors, but yeah, he hasn't gotten crazy into it yet. Funny enough. That's probably why my interest level is lower than it used to be.
Question number 4, Giants Pats tonight on Monday Night Football. Play Alberta has the Pats at 7-point favorites. The over-under at 46.5. What is the smart pick here, and is there any other prop bet you might take a look at?
Well, the Patriots to me is with the points. I think they've been too good. I know that this week there's been some upsets, and that you're getting Dart back. I think it's actually, to me, the smart one is to match up the over, the under, and I think the Pats are going to win by 8, but I also think the game's going to go over. I think it's going to be high scoring, because I'll say one thing about the Giants, their young QB's entertaining cons. So I think there's actually be some points tonight. But me, I'm always for the offense. So I don't know if that's a smart bet, but that's mine.
Yeah, Jackson Dart seems like a gamer, so maybe anytime TD for him or over on passing yards. We'll see what happens. Final question for you guys. It is Walt Disney Day. So my question for you, favorite Disney movie, and then if you've been to a Disney amusement park, favorite ride as well.
I'll go with Beauty and the Beast. I just, obviously with young kids, there was a time that especially my daughter was into a lot of those types of movies, and as they get older, Gregor, you probably know that things change. You don't get to spend as much time, and their friends become a bigger part of their life. But I really did enjoy watching, a lot of those movies and kind of cuddling, especially with her as she gets older here. So I'll go Beauty and the Beast.
Man, that's a tough one. There's lots of good ones. But I'm probably going to have to go with Lion King, the original Lion King, man. Oof. I was everyone remembers, man. The one of the opening scenes when he loses his dad. It's tough. It's a tough one right there. I remember, maybe because my father passed away, that one. I remember that one hit me pretty good. So I will go with Lion King. Favorite amusement ride. Well, I've never been to a Disney park, but I did go to Six Flags in California. It was unbelievable, man. I loved it. It was all big roll, and there's still there. I can't remember the name of it. I just remember that it was black and yellow, and you would sit, and so you had the harness on you, but your feet were kind of dangling. And so as you went around the ride, obviously they time it, but you were going through trees, and you're thinking, oh my God, I'm going to swing. I'm going to hit the tree, but you never hit the tree. But you always thought you were getting damn close. It was unbelievable. But my brother and I went. I think he was 21. I was 19. It was phenomenal. I'd love to go back.
I forgot that the other question there. I've been twice. We've been there 3 times as a family, and the amount of time that you have to wait to get on those rides. I mean, they're quite spectacular, but man, it takes so long to actually get on those. But I enjoyed the Indiana Jones ride. That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, you got to be a patient person on that day. That's what I've heard.
Hey, Gregor, I got to give you a thanks here. So for putting me in touch with Leading Edge there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wind up. I was lucky that Grant got me in there, and I don't want to get too excited or ahead of myself, but he did a super job. And you're right, he is a little guy. He's a confident little guy. He is pretty confident in his strength.
So, was he giving you a little adjustment on the old sciatica?
Yeah, he kind of did some needling, but it was just, obviously I've had needling done, but I don't know what he did. It was just, he hit some really good spots, and just my body reacted really well to it. So I got a few more sessions to go, but Like I said, I don't want to get too excited, but I am excited to see him. I think I go there Wednesday. You know, so yeah.
You decide to get poked by Grant again. That's basically what I'm coming up with in this.
The only thing is he loves to talk. He's talking the whole time as he's needling you.
Well, that's good. Yeah, because I can see you. You're the nervous Nelly guy. Like, you got to be focused. You got to be staring at your needles. Don't talk to me. How can you focus? He's done it. I think he knows what he's doing.
I know, but when you're needling someone's back, it's kind of like the same thing as flying. Like, I hate it when they come on.
Like when the pilot comes on air when he's flying the plane?
Yeah, I hate it. I'm like, focus on your instruments.
Brown is like, shut up. Focus on the air. Focus on the air.
So yeah, no, he was really good. I enjoyed funny guy, and he's got a nice setup there at the Royal Glenora Club. So I'm excited. I told him, you know, I think I'm going to go there 3 times. He said 3 times, and he thinks he can make it better. So
all right, buddy. Well, good luck. There you go. Fantastic stuff. Brownie, we'll talk to you next Monday. Have a good one.
Okay, guys.
There you go. That's Sean Brown joins every Monday here in Sports 1440. We've had a great first 2 hours of the month of giving. We're up to $6,200 now on our month of giving package, courtesy of Legacy Heating and Cooling. We're not at retail value yet. We always like to get there, right? It's all for charity. It's for the Christmas Bureau. And also, though, we have that, and we have $200. That's it at Mike right now with the steal. Oilers Wild. The Wild are on fire right now. 2 tickets, lower bowl, tomorrow night, Oilers in the Wild. It's all for charity. You want to help out, get involved in the month of giving. You can do it. We have raised over, this is the start of year 15. And in our first 14 years, we raised $1.54 million, which is pretty awesome. So we'll try to continue that this year. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. You know it's here, man. Winter, the snow came. Did you slide? Did you slip? Did you curse? Well, you don't want to do it. Get in, get your winter tires 15% off right now. FountainTire.com.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
5 games on the ice tonight in the NHL. Devils hosting the Jackets, Penguins in Philly, Sabres up against the Jets, the Ducks in St. Louis, and the Sharks hosting the Mammoth in the NFL. Week 13 concludes this evening with the Patriots hosting the Giants. That one's set to get going at 6:15. In the association, you got the Hawks and the Pistons. Pacers host the Cavs. Bucks taking on the Wiz. Bulls in Orlando. Nuggets host the Mavericks. Jazz taking on the Rockets. And it's the Suns beating the Lakers. The Edmonton Elks have agreed to terms with defensive lineman Noah Taylor, contracting to keep him in the city through 2027. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll hear Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. Look at the Penguins with Taylor Haas of DK Sports and more Oilers talk. I'm Connor Halley. This is the Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
Now for today's holiday special, Legacy Heating and Cooling saves Christmas. Santa's furnace broke down in the shop last night, and the elves couldn't make any toys, that's right, so Santa called up his pals at Legacy Heating. Ho, 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 golly gee, 1 year, no payments, interest-free, and the elves are working merrily with a brand new furnace from Legacy. Happy holidays from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Planning your next event? Let Loca Quality Market cater. From made-to-order meals to gourmet platters to full chef tasting experiences, they make entertaining effortless. Visit loca.ca to start planning today.
What sports talk on the go?
You can listen to 1440 on the AM dial or stream us on your mobile device through apps like Radio Player, iHeart, and Stingray Music.
Edmonton sports fans,
turn to Sports 1440.
1440.
More Edmonton families than ever are struggling as food prices skyrocket. The Holiday Hamper Foundation provides festive meals for 2,000 homes in need. Your donation ensures a turkey is on the table for every family. Donate today at holidayhamper.ca.
Vinny and Don in Hockey are dedicated to skill development for all hockey players. If you know a student athlete interested in growing as a person and a player, register for a free shadow day. Beginner or experienced, this program develops a student athlete skill in a supportive environment. It's a great opportunity for prospective student athletes entering grades 3 through 12 to see what Vimy and Donnan have to offer. Visit vimyridge.epsb.ca or donnan.epsb.ca for more info and to sign up.
Get ready, Edmonton. Glow Christmas Festival returns to light up the Edmonton Expo Center from December 4th to 31st with dazzling activities for the entire family. Wander the glowing trails, meet Santa in his sleigh, and shop from over 30 local artisans and vendors with handcrafted gifts and holiday treasures, perfect for everyone on your list. Get your tickets and learn more about what's on this season by visiting the calendar of events at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. From weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show. The best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
It's after 4 o'clock. Welcome back, Jason Gregor. Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram as we roll through on a lovely Monday afternoon. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440 is where you can text us in our Ewell inbox. Our auction item today for the month of giving, courtesy of Legacy Heating and Cooling, is at $6,200 right now. We're getting close to retail value, not there yet. You can choose either the, and this is all installation, permit, inspection fees. It comes with a Wi-Fi smart thermostat. You get a 2-stage variable speed gas furnace. It's a 96% Energy Star high efficiency. It's a Goodman. And that includes the removal and disposal of your old furnace and a 10-year parts and labor warranty, as well as a lifetime heat exchanger warranty on the furnace. If you choose the AC unit, it is a Goodman GLX S3B with the evaporator coil, packet and brad, the electrical connections, permit inspection fees come with it, as well as the smart thermostat and a 10-year parts and labor compressor on the AC unit. So it's fantastic. And Gary currently has it at $6,200. Also, Jesse's in at $300 on the order tickets to tomorrow night's game, the Wild and the Edmonton Oilers. Great seats, lower bowl, orders attacked twice. So thank you for those donations. We appreciate it. And we'll keep raising money today, helping out the Christmas Bureau. Oilers practiced again today. An update for you, those of you on the injury front. It's always an interesting point of contention for Oilers fans. But if you look at the injuries, you have Roslovic and Kapanen. I'm going to say right now, most likely, probably not till after Christmas. There's a chance one or both could play a game maybe before. But I think if we're talking realistic, now guy heals a little bit quicker than you think. That's great. But I would err on the side of them being out more than 3 weeks, which puts him after the Christmas break. Jake Wallman did skate today. It's progression, but he did not finish the practice. He left early with the medical staff. So not playing tomorrow. I don't think he's going to play Thursday. I would say Saturday at the earliest for him. And it might be another, might not be until the following Tuesday when they take on, is that Detroit or Buffalo? I can't remember which one's the next Tuesday, because they play Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, then they go on the road. So that's a little bit of the injury update for the Edmonton Oilers. They're coming off arguably their most complete game of the season. I don't think there's much debate on that. They played exceptionally well. So let's get in and hear from a few of the players as well as the head coach. First of all, asked Chris Knobloch just what did he like best about his team's performance on Saturday?
Well, I thought we defended really much better. Gave up fewer chances, and but I also like our players' engagement. They were a little bit fired up, and we took some more penalties than we would like to, but there was a lot of energy and a lot of togetherness on the bench and on the ice, which I think is very important to play an entire season. And but we got to be careful on not taking the penalties, and maybe there's some penalties there that probably, maybe in my opinion, shouldn't have been called. But I don't know. Just everyone just seemed a little more engaged, a little more fired up.
Kind of similar to what Sean Brown had to say. Like, their engagement level was higher. And it makes sense. And the importance and the impact that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins had on that game on Saturday.
Well, you look at how Ryan touched the game the other night. Penalty kill. There's a turning point in the game possibility. We're up 1-0. We've got a 5-on-3 for almost 2 minutes, and Ryan's a big part of the reason why we killed that. He had a key block shot, and then on the other side of it, power play, we go for 2 for 2, and he gets one of the goals, but he has a big part in that dynamic. So, and then also just 5-on-5. He's a tremendous player. I feel like that line of Rico and Yanni together, you feel that they can chip in offensively, but certainly, those three guys are probably our 3 best penalty kill forwards. So you have those guys on the line together. They should be pretty reliable against other teams' top units.
Well, yeah, look for them. And I think on home ice, that could open up a few more favorable matchups potentially for the McDavid and Draisaitl lines. The last 2 meetings against top teams in the Central, Colorado and Dallas, did not go well, to put it lightly. 9-1, 8-3, both losses. How does he feel going into this one against a red-hot Minnesota Wild from the Central?
I think so, but after the I guess both those games going into those, I don't think we're under the best circumstances going into those games. One coming off a long road trip to the Dallas, and then after the Florida game, the other one previous was after Dallas. We had a couple days off and then played, but right now you certainly have anticipation that we're going to play a lot better than we did in those 2. I don't see how we can play worse, but I don't know. I think guys are ready, committed to playing some good hockey, defensively especially, and this will be a good test. Minnesota's next to Colorado, probably the hottest team in the NHL, playing really well, and it'll be a test for us.
Oh, yeah. How about this for the Wild? They're 9-2 in their last 11 games. They have 4 shutouts, and they've allowed 16 goals in 11 games. Not bad, right? Not bad at all. Now, they did lose their last one in a shootout to the Buffalo Sabres. After now, that was the second of a back-to-back. They'd beaten Colorado the night before in a shootout. So their last 2 games they've actually 3 of their last 6 games have gone to a shootout. So, and then they had a one goal win over Chicago. And they had the 2 shutout blankings of Winnipeg and Pittsburgh. But yeah, the Wild, they'll come in. They're a team that's obviously feeling, very good about themselves right now, as they should be. Like, why wouldn't you? Right? Like I think in the month of November, now that I look at it, so they were 9-0-2. They're 11-1-2 in the month of November. It's pretty damn good. It's a real good stretch. So obviously they've been the hottest team in the I'd have to look, but probably even maybe a better winning, close to a winning percentage of Colorado. So that's going to be tough for the Oilers, no question. But hey, you want to face good teams, right? Like you look, Dallas went 11-2-2, Colorado went 11-0-2, and Minnesota went 11-1-2. They all had 24 points in the month of November. But Colorado did play fewer games. So those teams are rolling. Meanwhile, the Oilers, you got to go all the way down. Edmonton went 6-6-2. So they were able to salvage a 500 month by getting a win in Seattle. So they're going to have to be a lot better. I asked Adam Henrique, how do you ensure that, is this one that you can win and build off of after that Seattle game?
Yeah, I think we've had a few of those where we want to get going. So, I thought it was like you said, a complete game, start to finish. I think we were up 7-8 shots or something, nothing. We take a penalty, but we got a big kill, kind of go from there, and then power play comes up with a big one to get the lead. And then you saw some emotions through the game, everybody sticking together and playing hard and that sort of thing as well. So, it was a complete game. And, now having being at home here for a little bit, we got to, step on the gas.
Yeah, they do have to step on the gas. So how do you ensure that you actually step on the gas?
Well, just more of the same. You got to come out with that emotion. Really good team coming in. It's been hot and playing really well. So, you got to have that right from the start. And then, no matter where the game goes, you got to be able to continually ramp that up and play with the details that we talk about all over the ice.
Well, that's what you look for. At some point, you got to build on it, right? It can't be the dance of mediocrity. So maybe December will be the month where they exit that zone of mediocrity that they've been stuck in for the last few weeks. We'll see. We shall see. Roy comes in at the $6,300 on the month of giving package, courtesy of Legacy Heating and Cooling, and we'll keep on rolling. I like it. And now Jim's up to 64. Actually, their bids came in literally seconds apart. So Roy was at 63, Jim's at 64, and we keep rolling through a Monday afternoon. Zach Hyman. Now it was interesting because the Olympics are coming, right? So there's lots of guys who are getting drug tested. If you're on one of the Olympic teams, whether it's Germany, Canada, America, whatever, you get random drug testing. And there's a few guys today that got stopped, including Zach Hyman. So I had a little brief conversation with that, had a little bit more fun.
Yeah, it's just Olympic doping stuff. So kind of get called and they came up to me. Hey, you're getting tested, and that's it.
You've been through that before, right?
Yep.
So not a real surprise, not a concern. Is it ever awkward when all of a sudden they come up, or you expect it?
No, I mean, no. We've NHL wise, we get tested all the time, so you're used to doing your business with somebody watching, and it's kind of part of the job.
Now, the next question, it went right from, you get used to. Then Derek Van Diest was like, so how does it feel to get the first one out of the way?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Back to hockey. Sorry, I was going on.
Not sure how you heard that one.
Wasn't thinking the first key out of the way. Yeah. Oh, classic. But yeah, obviously that first goal for Zach Hyman and for him and how he can build off of that moving forward.
Yeah, it's a big stretch for us. Obviously, played a lot of road hockey, and to be able to come home, establish our game at home. We're usually very good at home, and it's a fun building to play in, and we've got the most amazing fans, so it makes it easy to come to the rink every day and play. So it's going to be a good stretch for us to get back on track. And Saturday was a good start.
And now the key is, can they take it from a one really good game to two, and then maybe to three? Because I'll say this homestand, now the toughest game in the homestand should be tomorrow night. Minnesota's rolling. We just outlined the record. They've been great for a month, so they're going to be tough. No question. They don't give up a lot of goals. Their goaltenders are playing great defense. Everything's good. After that, they play Seattle, who Edmonton, for the most part, has controlled Seattle ever since they came into the NHL, right? Leon Draisaitl is averaging over 2 points a game. It's the most active among any player in the NHL has played at least 10 games against one team. He has the highest points per game of anybody against one team. He got 2 points again on Saturday. They've had a lot of their way with Seattle. And you know what? There was a lot of energy in that game. Seattle's going to be a little bit pissed, I would think. So that's good. Have a little animosity. Then you play Winnipeg. Winnipeg will be playing their 6th game in 9 nights. They'll be on the second half of a back-to-back. That is a game you should win. Then the next week, they play Buffalo and Detroit. Both of those teams will be playing the second half of a back-to-back. So you look at the schedule for the Oilers, and there's a really good opportunity. Like if they could start tomorrow with a win, they could set this homestand up, go a 4-0-1 road trip, maybe 4-1, and get back on track because they haven't been very good at home this year. I know many of you are season ticket holders. You go to the games. Hey, you watch the games at home. Doesn't matter. They haven't been as good as they should be at home. Not even close. They've been a really good home team for many years, but that hasn't been the case yet. And they want to get back on track with their home record. And this chance to do it would be great. You throw in Anaheim. Dostal is now out for a few weeks. Right? We saw them last night. They had a 2-0 lead in the first 45 seconds of the game. They actually led 3-0, then lost 5, gave up 5 straight, lost to Chicago. Without Dostal, even Mrazek was out. They're not the same. So Edmonton get on a win here. All of a sudden, maybe you can climb up, get closer to LA. Not like they're that far back. Vegas, going a little bit of a run here. There's the opportunity. You haven't had a schedule kind of favor, but right now it looks like it's a favorable schedule. We'll see if they can take advantage of it. We'll come back. There's still lots to talk about goaltending. We'll talk about a player whose name has been out there, but does it make sense for Edmonton? I'm not sold it does, but we'll listen to somebody who watches him. Maybe it does. We'll find out next on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner. Bring in the new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. She drives me crazy. With special guests Haley Benedict and Morgan Kleiber. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. Hosted by Chris Sheets. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticecenter.com/events.
I'm Gene Principe, bringing season's heatings from Legacy Heating and Cooling. For Yuletide comfort you'll love this Christmas. You should call Legacy. Call Legacy. There's no better way to fix your furnace. You just call Legacy. Call Legacy. They're professional, never rude, doll. You should call Legacy. Call Legacy. Plus, no interest and no principal payments for 1 year when you buy with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
I'm getting McDonald's. You want anything?
Oh, yeah. I'll get I'm obviously going to get the McVeggie, medium fries and a medium fountain drink for $9.99. It's my favorite meal and it's new. Plus, if I get that, maybe he'll want it too. And then he'll always thank me for introducing him to the McVeggie. I'll be a hero.
So, McVeggie fries and drink?
How'd you know?
You were thinking out loud again. Get yourself a McVeggie meal for just $9.99 plus tax for a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants.
Don't look now, but I think we're being followed.
Oh, that's just my Fountain Tire sidecar.
Well, they're driving pretty close.
Because they're attached.
Save up to 15% on select tires until December 13th.
Cool.
Plus, get up to $125 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires.
Anything else?
Get $50 off a $150 service when you buy those tires.
Well, that's handy.
Yep.
And weird.
Well, I love my Fountain Tire sidecar.
Book your appointment online today. Restrictions apply. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Hey everybody, it's Gene Principe and Jason Stredler. Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters and have some drinks with umbrellas in them, you could attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Jason Strudwick, Kelly Buchberger, Ron Lowe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. Don't miss out on every hockey fan's dream cruise, the Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. It's going to be one hell of a trip. Price start at just $23.99 Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise, July 2026. Visit cast.tours/Edmonton
Now it's
or call
July.
1-833-347-7678. Book now and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours/Edmonton.
Hey, you know winter is really freaking cold, right? So play it smart. Don't get caught freezing in your car with your pants down and no power. At Big Toy Shop right now, lead-acid batteries are just $129. $129 is a great price for a good start. Big Toy Shop. Power up and save some bucks at Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road, 780-298-2797.
Imagine a family get-together where the smiles are as genuine as the conversations. That's the feeling you get at Nisku Ford, a family-owned dealership where finding a new Ford feels just like catching up with old friends. Here, you can take your time, explore the latest Fords, and enjoy the no-pressure atmosphere. It's not just about cars. It's about family, comfort, and trust. The coffee's on, so drive into Nisku Ford or visit niskuford.ca today. Above expectations.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Culligan for all your residential water needs. Your local water treatment company, more than just big bottles, Culligan.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Five on a lovely Monday afternoon. How are you? Hope you got through the weekend. A little bit of snow for the first time. You're all good, ready to roll. We are rolling up to $6,400 now on our month of giving package for the furnace or AC, your choice, courtesy of Legacy Heating and Cooling. It's a Goodman furnace, Goodman AC, and they're both unreal. So get that. Also, we have a pair of sweet seats, not in a retail value yet, $300. Oilers Wild tomorrow night. If you want to go, some great seats. Lower Bowl, Oilers attack twice. 833-401-1440. You can text on either package. Put your name in. Away we go. It's time now to go in the room. Brought to you by Action Electrical. 53 years in business. One of the most diversified electrical contractors in the province, and project service and testing, as well as solar for testing. It's preventive maintenance for your electrical distribution with infrared, ultrasonic, arc flash studies, and other testing options. ActionElectrical.net. And one of the surprise starts of the season is happening in Pittsburgh with the Penguins. Crosby playing great again. That's not really a big surprise. He actually just passed Dave Andreychuk on the weekend with the 641st goal, which puts him 15th all time. And at the rate he's going, he should be joining that elusive 700 club soon, which is pretty impressive. I know it seems like less in goals because you got Ovechkin at 900, which is wild. But Crosby's also in the 1,700 point club, which is really impressive, and is going to be playing for Canada at the upcoming Olympics. And will he be in the playoffs again? That's the question. As Taylor Haas joins us from DK Sports in Pittsburgh. Taylor, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Hey, good to have you. Give me your thoughts on Crosby's overall season and how it almost looks like he's 28, not 38, and how he's playing.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'd like to say it's surprising, but it's not from him. I think the most surprising thing is that he's had a rotating cast of line mates just because of, injury. He started out with Raquel, but Raquel's been hurt. He has Connor Dewar up there. He's had Kevin Hayes up there. And it seems like no matter who you put with him, veterans, he's had some rookies up there. He's just consistent. He's not slowing down at all.
And he's also nearing a record. And I know Sydney's already tried to downplay it by saying, well, you know what, it took me a few more games. But still, Mario Lemieux holds the franchise record at 1,723 points. And Sid's at 1,714. So he needs 10 more points to break the record. He's obviously going to do it. How big in the folklore of of Pittsburgh sports, not just the Penguins, is that Lemieux record, and how big of an event is that going to be when he actually passes it?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a huge deal. I don't think, like the Steelers have had some, great players, the Pirates have, but I think what Mario means to this city is special. And it feels like Sid, the last couple of years, he's breaking a new record or surpassing someone or hitting a milestone once a week. And every time he does, you ask him about it, and he's like, oh, it's a nice number. And he doesn't really seem to care too much about the numbers. But that one, I know is special to him, just knowing what Mario means to him, So that's gonna be a huge deal.
Oh, I would think so, and rightfully so. It should be. I think too often at times we don't want to celebrate the big milestones like that. That should be that's a bench clearing milestone for sure. I didn't love the 400 goal one, but I do when you're gonna pass the franchise record with that many points, which also I think will put him in 8th all time in the NHL. Like that's a pretty big deal. And as good as Sidney's been. Of Jenny Malkin too, the A is a point of game player again, but he's also been healthy, Taylor. Like he unfortunately for him, that's been maybe his biggest nemesis at times is staying healthy, but he's played every game for the Pens this year and is playing really well.
Yeah, that one is a little more surprising because, his last 2 years, he hasn't really been great by his standards. And he'll be the first one to tell you that he isn't happy with the way he's played really the last 2 years. He sounded very motivated coming into training camp, but and with him too, his wingers, like he had Justin Brazeau, who I don't think anyone thought would come in and be the top 6 player. Mantha, who, coming off of injury, really didn't play a whole lot last year. And he's had a rotating cast too because Brazeau is hurt. And same with Sid, it really hasn't slowed him down. He's meshing with anyone.
Well, you mentioned Brazeau. Like that guy had 6 goals, 12 points in 12 games. That line with him and Mantha, they're playing great. But when he went down, it really seemed to kind of mess with the mojo of that line. And Malkin's production and even Mantha, both of them kind of slowed down a bit with Brazeau being gone. What was he doing that became such a missing piece?
I think just that line in general, the size they had between Brazeau or Mantha, you always had someone at the net front getting those kind of dirty goals. And both him and Mantha were finishing well, and it kind of allowed Malkin to, do what he does best and make plays. And, so yeah, Brazeau definitely took a hit, but whoever they've put up there, when they put Kevin Hayes up there when he came back from injury, Kevin Hayes even, looked really good. So, it's definitely not the same without Brazeau, but they've been getting by without Brazeau.
Obviously, the biggest improvement has come in their goals against. Last year, they were 30th in the NHL, allowing 3.5 goals per game. Right now, they're 10th in the NHL. Like, that's a significant improvement. And obviously, when you keep the puck out of your net, your odds of winning will increase a bit. And, they've averaged, I think it's 2.79 goals against. How much do you put of that on the coach, the system, or the goaltending?
I think it's a little bit of everything. With the defense in particular, Erik Karlsson seems to be this is the best Erik Karlsson has played since the Penguins have had him. Okay. Part of that is definitely the coach and Dan Muse letting him do what he does best. And I think Erik Karlsson is probably also a little motivated by the Olympics. But goaltending is also a huge thing. All the goaltenders they've used this season, including Jari, Shilov, and Murashov, have played very well. Jari far and above, the best out of all of them. He's very different. Like even coming into training camp, talking to him, he seems like a different guy. I think part of that is he had his first kid over the summer, and I think that gave him different perspective. And he's not maybe dwelling on the losses or the bad moments so much. But yeah, he's just been playing really well, and for the most part, staying healthy. He did just have an injury, but yeah, he's been a huge part of that.
Well, he's been big. Now, going to the goaltending. So you got Tristan Jarry, you got Artur Shilovs. They've scored. They've played the most games. Murashov's actually started 3 and has the best numbers, albeit in a small sample size. Tristan Jarry, everybody knows what happened. Was down in the minors last season. Shilovs came over in that trade from Vancouver. When you look at Tristan Jarry, just his overall play, how good has he been? How much is the system in front of him? And do you think it's it's sustainable for him?
It's definitely not all the system for him. Like, you look at the advanced numbers, like the goals saved above expected, and he is far and above, in the positives. He is outperforming their other goaltenders relative to, their workloads. Is it sustainable? I think that's hard to say, because he's had stretches like this before. I mean, he's been an all-star. When he has, fallen off in the past, it has been related to injuries. When, he got hurt in that Winter Classic a couple of years ago and he came back, and that's when he really started to struggle. He was playing through injury, and it just wasn't, totally clear at the time. But I mean, if he can stay healthy, I think it's sustainable, but that's just a question.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's totally fair. What do you think the direction of the Penguins is? Like, you know what? They're right in the hunt right now. There's lots of teams that are right in the hunt. Them, and they're, I think, tied for the second wild card spot right now. They do have 2 games in hand on the Islanders, 1 game in hand on the Senators, few on Detroit. Like, it's a real cluster. There's a lot of teams separated by it. The Pens have 29, and you go down to Columbus, they have 27, and then even Florida and Toronto is like 8 teams within 4 points. So like, no one's safe by any stretch. But do you get a sense of, like, would the Penguins actually add at the deadline, or are they like, you know what, we kind of know what the future holds for us?
I think Dubas can be pretty reactive, and as we get closer to the deadline, if they are still in a playoff spot, I think they could add. But like you said, it's really tight. I mean, they're 5 points away from first in the conference. They're also 5 points away from being dead last in the conference. I think the beginning of the season, the results they were getting were better than they really were. Like, their underlying numbers were awful, but they were, getting saved by good goaltending, a really high shooting percentage. I think right now, they haven't been great, but I think they're also, being killed by injuries. They were held out. Achari, Brazo, Hollander was playing really well before he got hurt. Caleb Jones, when he went down, that third D pairing kind of fell apart. So I think what they really are, it is somewhere in the middle of that. And so I think they're going to be a wild card team, or maybe just outside of it. So I could see them adding, but I don't think they'll do anything like sacrifice the future too heavily to make that happen. Like, they're not going to trade away a first round pick to bring in, an NHL asset for this season.
Right. Okay. What about Malkin? He's a pending unrestricted free agent. Do you think he would want to move? Like, do you have any sense of, like, if they're out of it at the deadline, would he want to be moved? And would they re-sign him if he didn't want to be moved?
Yeah, I don't think he wants to go anywhere. Dubas has said a couple times now that, they haven't had extension talks or anything like that. And he said they're going to wait until the Olympic break to sit down with Malkin and talk about that.
Okay.
Malkin, in day one of training camp, he, was asked about, is this going to be your last year here? And he said, Penguins forever, just like sit in hangar. And he was asked specifically about the deadline and, potentially going to a contender. And he brought up, Brad Marchand and what happened. He's like, you look at what he did going to Florida, and he's like, and it's a good story. But Malkin also said, it's a good story only because it worked. And he said, if it didn't work, it would be weird. And he don't know how he'd feel about that. And I mean, if you're Malkin, you've seen a lot of players come through Pittsburgh doing that, and it didn't work. I mean, Patrick Marleau came here, Joe McGinley, Brendan Morrow, looking for cups and leaving longtime teams, and it didn't happen. So Malkin has definitely seen it not work out more than you've seen it work out with guys like Marchand, and I don't think he wants to be someone like a Joe McGinley went somewhere trying to win at the end, and it didn't work out. So I think I want to stay.
Now, do you think they'll want him to stay?
I think so. The way he's playing right now, for sure. And I mean, you look at his cap at $6 million. If you even bring him back for that much, or even a little less, for sure. They really don't have any. Like, I mean, if he goes, who is your, second line center? They have prospects who play center. Nobody, I think, definitely ready to step into a permanent second line center role. Ben Fiddle's been playing really well, but that would be a lot to put on him. I mean, he's 18 years old to just say, okay, he's your new second line center with no backup plan. I think just because if they had more top six center ready prospects, then maybe it would make it easier to move on from him, but they just don't have that yet.
Okay, so they might bring him back, and he might just take a little bit of a discount to stay in Pittsburgh for a year or two. What about, like, is Crosby destined to stay there? But if he passes Mario's record, which obviously he could do, and he probably could do before Christmas, do you think if they were out of it, would he ever contemplate, or do you think he's Penguin for life no matter what? And even if they're going to miss the playoffs the last 5 years of his career, he'll be okay with it?
I think he's Penguins for life no matter what. And when people really started talking about this, like national media, I talked with him on the road last season, and he was almost confused about why people keep bringing this up. And you can tell he's definitely irritated by it. And I think knowing Crosby, he's also kind of so stubborn or set in his ways that, he hears all these people saying, like, oh, he's going to want to, leave to go to Montreal or Colorado or wherever. He's going to be like, oh, no, you know what? I'm going to stay here and try to win here just to prove everyone wrong. That's what kind of guy Crosby is. So I don't think I don't see him leaving.
You don't see him leaving, and that's fair. What about guys who do you think are the most likely tradable pieces for the Penguins if they're not in a playoff spot by the deadline?
Yeah, I mean, Jari's interesting because they do have so many young goalies in the pipeline. Shelov has been largely pretty good to start. I mean, he's been bad his last two starts. I mean, they have Murashov, who seems to be the goalie of the future in the minors right now. Blomqvist, another young goalie in the minors. And you got to alleviate that logjam at some point. I don't think... if they were to trade Jari, it would have to be an actual hockey trade. Like, you're not just selling Jari off to bring in futures. But if you can, move Jari out and bring in maybe like a left-handed defenseman back, that's something that would make sense.
Okay.
And then, I mean, not as big of a trade, but they do have a couple pieces in the bottom six who maybe are blocking some of their younger players. So someone like a Nola Chari, when he gets healthy, I mean, he's been pretty good on their bottom six when he's been healthy. He's been one of their best penalty killers. He's older. He really doesn't have a whole lot of value here, just given they're probably not contending just yet this season. But I think Nola Chari is someone who could have value to a contending team. So it would be really Jari, and I think some of their bottom six forwards.
Taylor, great stuff. We really appreciate it. Enjoy the quest to see Crosby pass Lemieux. That's going to be huge. I know as a reporter, it's always great to cover milestone watches like that. Should be fun. And to see where the Penguins go between now and the trade deadline. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That is Taylor Haas from DK Sports in Pittsburgh. So Crosby, Malkin, I think that's a very astute point by Malkin. He says, hey, yeah, it worked out for Brad. And that's why it's great. But that's the risk. Like, sure. So it's always the challenge of, am I only going to do something if I know I can have success and I get the perfect ending? Or do I want to try it just to experience it? Every player is going to be different. And Pittsburgh's all he's known. So I can understand why he's like, you know what? It's going to feel too awkward for me to compete in another jersey. I can understand it. Now, there's very few players that get to finish their career with one organization. Because sometimes the organization feels it's time to move on. Others, the player feels, you know what? This just isn't going where I want. We're going to make a move. And like Yzerman and Joe Sakic, and obviously, there's been a few of them over time, but not many. Crosby could be that one. Malkin could be that one. Like, it is kind of unique to think that you'd have like two teammates do it together. Like, that's like, I don't even know if we go back into the original 6 days, how many guys did that. It's got to be some, but not many. So the Penguins, I'll say that I think Pittsburgh is a team right now that's in a playoff spot. I don't think they're a playoff team. I think as the season goes here, you'll slowly see them. Like, I think we've started to see it in November. Like, they've won 3 of their last 10 games. That's what I kind of think the Penguins are, to be honest. And that's okay. It sucks for Crosby. It sucks for Malkin and their fans because you might not see them in the playoffs. And that's unfortunate. But they've earned the right, if they want to choose, hey, I'm going to stay in Pittsburgh. I like it here. I've won 3 cups. I'm not going to chase a cup. I'm going to stay here because this is what I love. And I can't, blame the player for thinking that way. But I do wonder if Crosby, he was at Four Nations and they won. He's like, oh, this is great. And then they go to the Olympics and let's say they win again. And he's like, God, man, I miss this winning feeling. I just wonder if that kind of spurs him on. I know it's different than a year-long grind to a Stanley Cup, but it's still that euphoria being on a championship team is fun. Quick break. We'll come back. We'll update you on the month of giving and more. If it's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
I'm tired of waking up tired. Waking up tired. Are you tired of waking up tired? Come visit our sleep experts at the Brick Mattress Store. Get Canada's guaranteed lowest prices on all things sleep. Plus, try your new mattress for 6 months. If you don't love it, we'll find one you do. Some conditions apply. Stop waking up tired. Get the right mattress, guaranteed. Only at the Brick Mattress Store.
No fluff, no fillers, just pure entertainment. Sports 1440 brings the heat with bold opinions, big personalities, and Edmonton's fiercest fans. This is your turf. This is Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Imagine a family get-together where the smiles are as genuine as the conversations. That's the feeling you get at Nisku Ford, a family-owned dealership where finding a new Ford feels just like catching up with old friends. Here, you can take your time, explore the latest Fords, and enjoy the no-pressure atmosphere. It's not just about cars. It's about family, comfort, and trust. The coffee's on, so drive into Nisku Ford or visit niskuford.ca today. Above expectations.
I'm Saxon, and this is my little sister Goldie. I'm Goldie, and this is my little sister Saxon. Wait a minute. I'm the big sister around here.
And I'm Rick Showers from Noble RV, and these are my granddaughters. They like to help with the holiday commercials. It's sort of a tradition in our family. And since they moved from Australia to Nashville, we get to see them more than ever.
It's nice to live in the same hemisphere with Grandma and Papa.
That's right, Saxon. And at Noble, the holidays are all about family. And really, that's what camping is all about, too.
Maybe I should come work for you at your store, Papa. I can make the Goldie cakes.
Maybe in a few years.
Papa says used RVs are way better than new RVs.
That's right, Saxon. You learn quickly. So what do you have to say to all the people listening on the radio?
Happy Christmas to everyone in Canada.
And that's Noble.
NobleRV.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money. Support Canada at Cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show. The best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.447. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Gary is back in at $6,600 on our month of giving package today. I like that. Courtesy of Legacy Heating and Cooling. You get your choice of a furnace or AC unit. So there you go. 833-401-1440. You can text in your bid. Coming up, Spec is back after 5 o'clock. We got Kevin Woodley talking all things goaltending later on today. We do have, and we're also, by the way, we also have a $300 steal deal on the order tickets for Tuesday night against the Minnesota Wild. $300 right now. If you want to go to the game, 833-401-1440. You can text in your bid, helping out the Christmas Bureau today. Pretty nice. All right. Lots of other text line in 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, guys, do you think Ovechkin or Crosby get a call to the Hall as soon as they retire, bypassing any waiting period? JP on an island? No, I do not. They've had great careers, no question about it. But I think Gretzky was the last one who was going to get that. Mark Messier didn't have it, and look where Messier ranks in all-time NHL scoring, right? Like, Ovi's not going to catch him. Ovi obviously caught them in goals, right? And he's the all-time goal-scoring leader, but I don't think they'll bypass him for him. So I do think, though, there's a very good chance that Sidney Crosby will pass Messier in both goals, because he is 54 goals back of Messier, and in points as well. He's about 174 points back of Messier. I think if Crosby stays healthy, he gets to 1,900. The question is going to be, does he want to stay and try to get to 2,000? I've outlined it many times that Connor McDavid, I think it's almost a lock that if he stays healthy, it's a lock, because Connor McDavid at the end of this season will be at 1,200 points, or right around. So that means he would need 800 points over the next decade, because he's going to play that long. All the great players, and that's he's only playing then till 38. I think he's probably going to go longer than that. So you give him 10 seasons of 800 points, 80 points a year, right? He'll slow. But look at Crosby. Crosby's still scoring 80 points, scored 90. So yeah, like I think McDavid's a for sure to get to 2,000s. I think Crosby will come down to, does he want to play? So at the rate he's going now, if he keeps up this season's pace, he's going to finish with around 1785, give or take. So he'd need 215 points, which realistically it's going to take him 3 years. So does he want to play 3 more seasons after this? If he wants to get to 2,000, I think he's got a real good chance to do it. Now, it won't be easy, but it all comes down to if he wants to play that, to get into 41 type of range to play. I think he's got a decent shot to do it. Hey, boys, I get that our goalies need to be more consistent, but Saturday's game's a perfect example of when the team in front of them plays well, the goaltender also plays good. Skinner was exceptional. Play good defense, you get good goaltending from JC. Well, usually, not always, but you're right. I'll say this. When you play good defensively, you don't need spectacular goaltending, right? You're not asking the goalie to maybe be what he isn't. You're just saying, hey, because Skinner, he still had to make a breakaway save. He had to make 2 cross-seam pass saves. Like, your goalie's got to make some saves, right? It can't be like, wow, our defense got to be great. Our goalie, because, well, then no offense, you could have anybody play net. So you need your goalie to come up with a big save now and then, just not multiple odd man rush chances, wide open looks. They didn't give up a ton of slot shots last game. That to me is the big improvement. So, but like, hey, I put Skinner in the category of the majority of players in the month of October and November. He needs to be better. Make no mistake, he needs to be better. He's proven he could play better than he has in the first 2 months of the season. And I get it. It can be like the uncertainty there. Fair point. You'd like a little bit more consistency from Skinner. And I think that's a very fair ask. I don't see how it's not. Where we go. So I look at the orders, and because we have this text, hey Gregor, how many starts would you give Skinner? Well, I would, if it's me and I look at the schedule, you're not going to play Skinner every game. So I would, and now could you? Yes. I don't think they're going to. So I think he probably plays 4 of the 5 home games. It's just a matter of which one. Do you play him tomorrow? And I guess maybe it depends how he plays tomorrow. But if he plays well again tomorrow, I'd probably play him against Seattle again. I would look at Pickard on that Saturday game. It's the Jets. It's their 6th game in 9 nights. It's their second half of a back-to-back. And I'd say, hey, Pickard, hey, it's a home game. It's against a team. It's, they made the playoffs last year. You're not giving them the 80th, the last place team in the league. So I wouldn't mind. And then I'd go back to, because then, Skinner gets a little bit extended rest. Now, the only thing is if he plays Thursday, then he has Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday until he plays Tuesday again. So I don't know, do they want that? Right? Like if he's getting in a rhythm, does he want that many days off? So they'll have to have the conversation, right? They'll have to have the conversation. I agree. I think if he wasn't a local boy, he wouldn't have as much lease. I don't think honestly, I don't think that comes into play at all. If I'm Stan Bowman, I'm not looking at the birth certificate of my players. Oh, what city was he born in? Oh, okay, well, I don't think that matters, to be honest. Like, I think the fact of the matter is Stu Skinner has had some really good games in the playoffs. He's had some tough ones too. But he's actually had more good games than bad games. And at his price point, you look and say, okay, we can go out, like, you're going to go get Tristan Jarry. Tristan Jarry right now is double the price point of Stuart Skinner. Is he double consistency? No. So that you always have to factor everything into it. Okay, we get this. Like, remember last year, people, Gregor, you're a moron, you're an idiot. John Gibson's way better. Really? Oh, it's because Anaheim wasn't good. Oh, yeah? What's happening in Detroit? Look at his numbers compared to Cam Talbot, who's 38. Talbot's walking the floor with him. So, no. I've always said, if you can find a clear upgrade that makes sense, then go ahead and do it. I've always thought it might be better and easier to find someone to upgrade on Pickard who then pushes Skinner. It's probably more realistic. That's what I would do. Hey, guys, any chance Philip Gustafson could become available? Makes 3.7 be easier to fit in cap-wise. Well, he only makes 3.7 until the end of this season. Then next year he makes 6.8. And I know Wallsted's had a great start, but guys, Wallsted has played a grand total of 9 games this year? You've got Philip Gustafson, who you obviously really like because you just signed him to an extension at 6.7. And now after 9 games, you're going to say, okay, goodbye? Like, why wouldn't you? Because next season, even when your next season, your combined salary cap of the two is still going to be less than $9 million. And the salary cap is going to be 104. When you have a good situation, why ruin it? I would say, hey, guys, guess what? We got 2 goalies who we really like. We're not going to have to overextend either one of them. And the best part is Wallsted gets to come up in a really good environment and not have the pressure right away of being a starter. Because what's the one thing you look back on Stuart Skinner? They had Campbell and Skinner. And Jack Campbell couldn't hold up his end of the bargain. It's like, okay, here, rookie, you go in. And now Stuart Skinner's like, oh, my God. So he's kind of learning on the job and got thrust into a winning environment, which there's more pressure, make no mistake about it. And I think probably being his hometown might be even more. So I look at it and say, if I'm Bill Guerin, now next summer, in the summer of 27 is probably when you have to make a decision, because that's when Wallsted will need a new contract. Yeah, he's an RFA and everything, but and if you're Bill Guerin, here's the other advantage. If I don't make him the full-time starter beforehand, I got to pay him less on his next deal. And by then, you know what? Then maybe we can move one of the two, and hopefully we get another backup, or we'll trade for one in the trade or whatever. But moving Gustafson now, I think would be a terrible move. If I'm them, I think it would be a terrible move, because you still don't like it's. Is this just a heater? Because we've seen lots of goalies get hot, or maybe Wallsted's the legit deal. Very much so. Like, I don't think you can fluke yourself to being as good as he has been. I think he's legit good, but there's good as the backup and playing they have rotated the last 10 games. One on, I play, you play, I play, you play, I play, you play. 10 games. All right, Wallsted has had consecutive starts, I think, once this season with the Minnesota Wild. So that's a very different scenario than, hey, now you're our starter and you're starting 3 out of every 4 all year long. Mentally, physically, it's all going to be different. So I would let him just grow into it. I get why teams and I get why Edmonton fans ask for Gustafson, but you always have to look at it from the other side. I think Bill Guerin would be absolutely foolish to do it. Absolutely foolish. And I know there's a lot of Xavier Bourgault texts. I know, I'm aware. Many of you were correct. There's lots of people. The minute that pick was traded, you're like, what are you doing? You had Wallsted. Take him. And it's true. They're right. That wasn't hindsight. It wasn't a year later. Like, I hate people 5 years after the draft. Oh, you should have taken this guy. Oh, yeah, right. Because 5 years later, is that a really good career? Better than the guy you took? No. But if you say it literally seconds after, that to me is legit. You're like, no. That's the guy I wanted right then and there. It's like Matt Boldy. People freaked out at me when I said Broberg. I'm like, no, I don't want Matt Boldy. And I like Philip Broberg, but I really like Matt Boldy. And when I looked at the team, I felt Matt Boldy was a bigger need. And if you had Matt Boldy right now, wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be bad. 4:58 coming up. We got Speck, we got Woodley, and we got the final hour of Month of Giving and more. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Remember, get in the game. You got the new Jason Gregor Show daily specials. You can get at PlayAlberta.ca, as well as lottery, instance, live dealers, and more. It's PlayAlberta.ca. And remind you that tomorrow, $65 million up for grabs in Lotto Max. PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Buick GMC. You got winter tires at cost right now. Woo, you need some. You're slipping. You're sliding. You're probably cursing. Don't. Go to northgategm.com. They'll help you out.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
5 games in the NHL tonight. Devils, Jackets, Penguins in Philly. Sabres host the Jets, Ducks, and Blues, and the Sharks host the Mammoth. Off the ice, defenseman Cal Foote signing with the Chicago Wolves, the AHL affiliate to the Carolina Hurricanes. He's not played in the NHL since 2024 while he's a member of the Devils, where he was charged with sexual assault. He was acquitted this past July. In the NFL, Week 13 concludes. Giants, Patriots from Foxborough. That one's set to get going at 6:15. In the association, 9 games tonight, including the Pistons hosting the Hawks, Cavs in Indiana, Wizards up against the Bucks. Got the Clippers taking on the Heat, Nuggets and Mavs, Rockets in Utah, and the Lakers host the Suns. And the Edmonton Elks agreeing to a contract extension with defensive lineman Noah Taylor that'll keep him in the green and gold through the 2027 season. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and Kevin Woodley from In Goal Magazine. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy, designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
Aloha, Edmonton, it's back. Century Vision Care's 4th annual Maui Christmas event on Friday, December 12th from 9 to 5. Century Vision Care, Edmonton's biggest Maui gym retailer, is bringing the island spirit to your holiday shopping. Enjoy in-house savings on all prescription and non-prescription Maui gyms, plus giveaways, prizes, snacks, and beverages all day. Same-day eye exam appointments are available, and they direct bill most insurance plans, but spots are filling fast. Get ahead on your Christmas list and treat yourself to a new pair of Maui gyms. Visit Century Vision Care on Instagram.
Do you sit around at work listening to sports radio all day? That's right, my friend. There's no shame in it. It's the good life. And we're not here to snitch. Hey, if
Welcome
your
back,
company
Jason Gregor.
advertised on Sports 1440, you could be the one listening for your company's ad every day. Now you've got an excuse to listen to Sports 1440 all day. It's part of the job. Sounds like someone's getting a promotion. Email
20.
Gregor at sports1440.ca. And let's
They're
get
right
to work
next-
for you.
It's Canadian Tire's Black Friday sale
with the lowest prices of the year.
How low can we go?
Welcome back, Jason.
Limbo again.
Shop the Black Friday sale at Canadian Tire and save up to 60%. November 27th to December 7th. Conditions apply. Details online.
Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea.
Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Elks Nation, 2 weekly podcasts with Eddie Steele and Declan Kruger, breaking down the green and gold. The most in-depth WE football coverage on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts, elksnation.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.504 Monday afternoon. As you make your way home, or maybe just getting in the vehicle, make your way home. Have your lights on, please. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, everybody gets home safe, ready to roll. It's a Monday edition of the Gregor Show, is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Get in the game. Just remember, though, if you do gamble, use your game sense, GameSenseAB.ca, and find out the best ways to stay within your limits. It is a month of giving. We've had a great first 3 hours of the show. We are up to $6,600 from Gary on day one of the month of giving, which includes an option for you to either get a brand new furnace or an AC unit, courtesy of Legacy Heating and Cooling. Comes with all the permits and inspection fees for both. It's a gas furnace, a 2-speed variable, high efficiency one from Goodman. They'll remove and dispose of your old furnace. Also, you get 10-year parts, labor, warranty, and, of course, a Wi-Fi smart thermostat goes with both AC or the furnace. And with the AC, it's a GLXS-B air conditioner, evaporator coil, pad, bracket, electrical components, the smart Wi-Fi, and 10-year parts and labor. So $6,600 for that. And we're at $300 for the Oiler tickets tomorrow night. It's a steal of a deal. Great seats. So if you want to go to the game and help out charity, way you go. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Lower bowl where the Oilers attack twice tomorrow night. You can just text in with your name for either one, and away we go. We always like to, just so you know, Connor always calls people when we get to the final. We'll end the auction around 5:50. So be ready if you're bidding to answer your phone. Now let's get to the spec report, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists, helping you get to work, helping you start your day. Just get running water. GS Construction, as Mark Spector joins us once again. Spec, how was the birthday trip?
Oh, it was great. You're gonna have to speak into the horn, Sonny. I can't quite hear you.
Sure. Well, you're not a super senior yet. That's good. That's what I learned today. The new term.
Right.
You're not a super senior.
No, I'm gonna have to get someone to go through, find all the senior deals now out there. I hear there's lots of them.
Oh, Titch was raving about him today. He was so fired up, man. I never seen him that happy. Holy cow. He's talking about getting the breakfast deals, and no, he was just absolutely loving it. So
has it come to that? Has it really come to that, Jason? I hope not.
Well, Spec, for your birthday, the Oilers gave you a full 60-minute effort. Maybe their most complete game of the season on Saturday. Because now some practice. Now, is it just a coincidence? I don't think so. A little bit of rest, some actual practice time, and the Oilers, they kind of looked like the team in previous years where they could dominate for vast majorities of the game and play well in every facet.
Yeah, and look, every year here, I just filed a piece on sportsnet.ca, and it's like the last 2 years, they were scuffling along, and at some point they found a game or two that they built on, and they got their traction, and they went from there. And you'll probably remember, Jay, a couple of years ago there was a 5-0 win in Washington.
Yeah,
and they went in there scuffling along, back and forth, win 2, win 1, lose 1, and they won that game, and they felt really good, and they absolutely killed it the rest of the season. It wasn't quite as stark last year, but they did hit the point right around now when they found the game. So, we've been, every time they have a nice game here, we've been wondering if this is the one. And I would say to you that with a 5-game homestand here, not against world beaters, the table is certainly set for this team to take that effort in Seattle and do something with it. I'm not promising you that they will, but certainly the opportunity is there to make this the point of the season we look back on and go, yeah, remember back in the start of December when they turned the season around.
Yeah, it might be, right? You never know. Adam Henrique mentioned that, hey, we thought there was a few other times where we had something to build on, and they never did. So just get, and hey, they got a really good Minnesota team, but the Oilers should be good. They got spanked the last time against Dallas and Colorado. And I know little different scenarios coming off of long road trips and stuff. And, they have practice time. So I do factor that in. The Wild got some injury problems of their own, but man, they've been playing very good. And if the trend continues, Spec, we'll see Jesper Wallstad as him and they've been rotating back and forth every game now for the last 10 games. And it looks like it would be his turn to start. Gustafsson lost the one in a shootout in Buffalo. So we could see Jesper Wallstad, a player that many fans and pundits were head scratching, to put it politely, and screaming when the Oilers opted not to take him and trade down. And then Minnesota promptly said thank you and took him at that 20th pick a few years ago.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, there's all kinds of players who played games in one city and went to another, and guys who got traded early and got really good in the next place. And every time they return, every time Matt Tkachuk comes back to Calgary, and every time, I'm thinking of good players who started somewhere and finished somewhere else. This guy never played a game for the Oilers, was never Oilers property, but he's always going to be looked at here in the 780 through that lens of, man, we should have had this guy. This guy was in the palm of our hand, and we flicked him away and decided, no. Tyler Wright, the head scout, Ken Holland, the general manager, right? They decided, no, we're not taking a goalie in the first round. That's not what we do. And let's, here we are. A couple of years later, the Oilers have serious goaltending issues, and this kid's come along. I know he's only played 9 games, but you sure wouldn't mind having him as Skinner's backup right now, would you?
Yeah, backup pushing to be the starter for sure. I don't think there'd be any question about that. Yeah, it was a head scratcher, no question about it. And it wasn't one that, like, I never, like, 5 years after, you take someone at 18 and some guy at 22 or 20 works out, and you're like, see, you should have took him. Well, if you didn't say it right away, then it's just hindsight, right?
Yeah, nobody was saying, why didn't they take Wyatt Johnston, right?
No, not really. No, they weren't.
No one was saying that. Now you look back and you go, gee, you could have taken him. Everybody, a ton of people were saying, this is the goalie. What happened in that draft? You'll remember, right? I think they wanted Sebastian Cossa. And by all accounts, they were willing to spend that first round pick on Cossa. Detroit took him, and they said, "No, we don't like this guy as much as we like Cossa." So they decided they wouldn't take a goalie at all, and there you go. So and to pour salt in the wound, the guy they take and Xavier Bourgault, let's face it, he's probably never going to play. No. So you not only didn't pick the goalie that you so dearly need. You spent the pick on a guy that you wasted the pick. You misfired on your first round pick when the goalie was in the palm of your hand. It's pretty tough to swallow. I'm not going to tell you it's not if you're an Oilers fan.
Oh God, yeah. Like, you look that one in hindsight because they wanted the goalie then, and then the whole botching of the Griffin Reinhart trade back in 2015.
Wow,
those are probably the 2 moves of the last decade. Like, I look like you know what, you can say, okay, I didn't like the free agent signing of Lucic or whatever, and then you got James Neal for a year, but none of those had the devastating potential of what the Wallstead was, and as well as the Reinhart one. Like, those two had direct long-term implications.
Yeah, that's for sure. Chiarelli did Reinhart, and it was an awful deal.
Oh, God, it was terrible.
Kenny Holland's, he gets responsibility for Wallstead. Like, he was the GM. Him and Tyler Wright was his head scout, and they blew it. And every GM has, especially around the draft. Like, the trading for Reinhardt's one thing. You went out of your way to trade for not a very good player. The draft is a situation where, everybody makes lots of mistakes at draft, but because of the way the Oilers' goaltending situation has unfolded, this gaffe is particularly painful, particularly right about now. He better not come in and get a shutout tomorrow. It's going to be sour in that ballpark.
Oh yeah, very true, very true. To the Oilers, Spec. Not great news on the injury front. Rostovich, Kapanen, I've been told, unlikely to get back before Christmas time. Like, there's maybe you could get a game in before Christmas, but probably most likely afterwards. Okay. Jake Wallman, you saw him on the ice today, but he actually left practice early. And, so what does that mean? Well, he's not playing tomorrow. I don't think he's playing Thursday. Seems like Saturday's the earliest one for Jake Wallman, who, just seems, and I said it when he got signed. My only concern with Wallman was he's a guy who seems to miss 15, 20 games a year. And
yeah, I'm starting to wonder about Jake Wallman a little bit on that front. He's missing a lot of time, right? He's missing a lot of time. And every injury starts out as a week and turns into 3 weeks. And, sometimes you get a run of bad luck. Like, a lot of times you don't just get one injury and come back. You get one, you get two, you get three. You're hoping that's the situation with Jake Wallman. But I don't love the fact how much he's missed so far as an Oiler. You can't count on him, right? Like, he's a good player when he plays, but you can't count on him being in your lineup, and that's pretty tough for a guy they just signed for 7 years.
Yeah, so difficult. What have you made of Clattenburg?
Love this guy. How long we've been asking for whatever disturber like this guy? Like, oh my goodness, is that? I don't know what. Depending on what happens to the roster, if guys start coming back, being a rookie that doesn't have to have waivers, Clattenburg's always going to be the target to go down, the same way Ike Howard was. I don't know how you pull him out of this lineup the way he's showing for this team. There isn't a guy in this lineup that remotely brings what he's been bringing. He's showing everybody what it looks like to be a young guy trying every shift. He fights great. We all like to see a guy who fights. We haven't had many fighters in Edmonton for a long time. But he just plays like he never wants to let go of that job, man. And I'll tell you what, if Trent Frederick played more like that, we'd all like him a lot more, wouldn't we?
Oh, yeah. And it's funny. We had a guy on from Boston about it. And he said Frederick was, when he was the best in Boston, guess what? He goes, he was engaged and he was physical and he ended up getting a lot of goals around the net and he was kind of a pest. And you're not seeing any of that in Edmonton. And, it's a question. I'm actually going to talk to Trent tomorrow, I think. And it's just a question to say, okay, like, you played that way before. Why aren't you? Like, are you not healthy? What is it? Because if you're not confident in your puck skills, that's one thing. But are you not confident in your agitating skills? Like, maybe it goes hand in hand. I don't know. But I think it's worth a question for sure because, Clattenburg, now you got to, I like, hey, you go with Freddie Gaudreau. I have no problem. And I know people say, oh, Freddie Gaudreau's not a fighter. So what? Clattenburg's not a heavyweight fighter, for God's sakes. This is not like he is, Delorier and he's jumping a little guy. Freddie came after him. He's like, all right, I'll pound you. I have no problem with it. Like, and if he's a jerk and the other team doesn't like it, awesome. Did you see what,
awesome.
and the other thing, though, like that Edmonton game, you hear the coach talk. Yeah, guys were vocal on the bench. Yeah, they got vocal and pissed off because Mason Marchment ran Darnell Nurse on kind of a blindside hit a little bit. Yep. And I'm like, and that's fine to react, and that's great that you'll always react, and they've got a great kumbaya, and Draisaitl's in there throwing a blatant elbow, and sure, I have no problem with it, but you still need to be the initiator sometimes.
Yeah, they haven't had an initiator in this city forever. Like, I can't even think of the last guy that, I'm not going back to Esa Tikkanen, please. That's just too long ago, but it's not a
Rafi Torres would be the guy. Like,
Rafi, sure.
Right. He would run around and he would hammer guys and he get annoyed. And
Rafi's a good example.
Yeah.
Rafi was Rafi jumped the shark a little bit in the end. He started, his hits just became too injurious and they started suspending him for 40 games. But no, Rafi was one of those guys. I like that guy on my hockey team, no matter who I am or whichever way I want to play among 12 forwards, there's got to be a spot for a guy like that. And Clattenburg is a welcome breath of fresh air in this town, man. A young guy who wants to stand over a goalie and push a guy a little bit extra. And, he's kind of looking forward a little bit. And when someone drills Nurse, he's one of the first guys out there saying, my role on this team is to take this problem into my hands because I'm a 9-minute guy and Nurse is a 23-minute guy. So I'm going to take this job because it's my job. And we go back to Frederick. It's his job too. He's not that important that he can't take a scrap once in a while when somebody rips Draisaitl or drills McDavid or Nurse or Bouchard or even Ekholm, right? That's why you have Frederick on your team. That's why you have Clattenburg on your team. And so far you notice one of them and you don't notice the other.
Yeah. No, hey, Clattenburg's done everything you want. He's not there yet. Right. He's done everything he's want. I think when Kapanen and other guys get healthy, then, he's probably not in the lineup, but that's fine. He's a 20-year-old rookie. But you know what? He's good. He's going to be here probably for a month when you look at the injuries here for the Edmonton Oilers. And you know what? That's great for him. I've liked it. He's added a little juice. Hey, scored a goal. He's got 1 goal in 3 games. So definitely he's not just out there being physical. Like, he's around the net.
Yeah.
And actually in Seattle in that first period, kind of missed the wide open net.
Yeah. I'd say this to you, man. If you give that kid a month here, like, I'm not sure when that month is over that you're going to be able to look anybody in the eye and say, this is the guy that's got to come out of our lineup. I know he's 20 and I know he hasn't played. You're talking to the guy who's a bigger believer in AHL time for young players than almost anybody. Like, I'm not saying, if he plays, he should play in the AHL. Every young player should. But I'm here to say that at the end of that month, if this guy keeps up doing what he's doing, they might look around that room and the leadership group might say, oh my God, whoever you get rid of, don't get rid of this guy. He's exactly what we need.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure if I'm there yet. I've liked what he's done.
I'm not there yet either, but talk to me in a month.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, all I know is he's done everything you would expect from him, and that's a good start, right?
Yep.
And it does stand out on a team. Like, that's why, man, like Trent Frederick, this should be like, okay, now I got a running mate. All right, let's do it. You should be more engaged, not less.
Yes.
You should be more engaged now because this guy's out there. And usually, there's a little bit of a pack mentality automatically. Oh, look at this guy. He's stirring it up. I'm going to stir it up. Now it's fun.
Imagine if you had a guy like that in your third line and a guy like that in your fourth line. How much fun would that be?
Yeah, it would be fantastic. So it would be good. Much needed for sure. Mark Spector joins us. Spec, the Minnesota Wild come to town, man. They're playing really well, right? They've been dominant. The Stars have been dominant. The Avs have been dominant. How much do you put in the fact that the Oilers gotten spanked? And I know that timing of when you play and all that stuff is a factor. But 9-1 and 8-3, and neither game was really close.
Nope.
Even if they don't win the game tomorrow, they got to show up and be a lot more competitive than they have been against the top teams.
Yeah, you can't keep getting beat by 7 here. Like, obviously, it's no great revelation, but I think what you want to see is just a team with some traction, a team that is playing well enough that you can't beat them by 5, and a team that pushes back. Like, one of the things in the Denver game, I didn't see the Dallas game. I watched the highlights. I was away. But I was talking.
You didn't miss much, Spec. I can tell you that.
I know. I was talking to some people today, and what the common theme was, in neither of those games did the Oilers look like they were mad they were getting beat so badly. They just took the punches, and I don't love that. Like, if you're good, we're all going to lose once in a while. Get pissed off when you're losing. At least make it look like you don't enjoy it. And that's at least a step. I'm not saying it's okay for Minnesota to win by 5 tomorrow, but I'll tell you what, make them earn it, man. Freaking get in there and show me that you're sick of losing. Because my understanding was that didn't happen against Dallas, and I was at the Colorado game. It sure as heck didn't happen there.
No, it did not. So that's something they would have to look for. We'll see tomorrow, Spec. It's pretty much going to be the same lineup for the Edmonton Oilers as it should be. And the Minnesota Wild come to town. Should be a hell of a game. Appreciate your time.
2 home games in a row, man. Let's go. It sounds like an excuse, but the schedule they've had has been wicked. It's been wicked. And now the fruits of that start to arrive. You've had the toughest part of your season, right? The first third of the season was the toughest part, and it's over now. So, it's time for the Oilers to take advantage of the fact that they've had a pretty rocky road. And when I looked at the standings, they're 4 points out of first place in the division. That's very, very doable.
Very much so. Spec, we'll talk with you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Jay.
Mark Spector, the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. Quick break. Kevin Woodley comes back. We're getting down to the wire and month of giving and more. We'll tell you what it is on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone. NotAloneCo.com. It's okay to not be okay.
Did you know the Brick is proudly Canadian-owned and operated? We started right here in Canada over 50 years ago. Now, our 5,000 team members are proud to be your neighbor in more than 200 communities across Canada. And we support all Canadians with a growing selection of quality-made Canadian products and manufacturers. Nobody knows more about furnishing Canadian homes at the guaranteed lowest price than us, the Brick, saving you more.
Visit thebrick.com and use our store locator to find a Brick store near you.
Don't look now, but I think we're being followed.
Oh, that's just my Fountain Tire sidecar.
Well, they're driving pretty close.
Because they're attached.
Save up to 15% on select tires until December 13th.
Cool.
Plus, get up to $125 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires.
Anything else?
Get $50 off a $150 service when you buy those tires.
Well, that's handy.
Yep.
And weird.
Well, I love my Fountain Tire sidecar.
Book your appointment online today. Restrictions apply. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at Tap 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the Center Bar. Plus, catch this fall's biggest games. Every goal, every tackle, every home run. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it. Subaru is built for winter. Symmetrical all-wheel drive delivers power with incredible control, stability, and grip. Add 220 millimeters of ground clearance, and you're not getting stuck in snowbanks. You'll drive right through them. And inside, luxurious heated seats and a heated steering wheel. Plus, for 19 years in a row, Subaru vehicles have earned top safety pick status, giving you unmatched peace of mind. Subaru is engineered for Canadian winters, built for real-life confidence. Welcome to Uncommon Standards.
This is the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440. Favorite us right now.
Powered by PlayAlberta.ca. If you gamble, use your game sense. Learn more at gamesense.ab.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers are back in action and ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and you can play score and win every game. See more at ontherocks.yeg.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$5.26, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Sports 1440.ca. We're up to $6,700 now in our month of giving package. We have about 20 minutes left to go. If you want back in, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Getting real close to retail value now. I like it. Also, we got the steal of the day already. The order tickets, only $300 for orders in the Wild. Tomorrow night, if you want to go, Jesse has that at $300. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. It's your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails, and a great place to watch the game or the curling events or the concerts they put on, and more. They have a big New Year's Eve concert. Check it all out at Silent Ice. As Kevin Woodley from In Goal Magazine and NHL.com joins us once again. Woodley, how you doing?
I'm good. That's a deal for those Oilers tickets. If I was in Edmonton and not Montreal, I'd be hitting you up because it's a chance to watch the Wall of St. Paul, baby.
Oh, the Wall of St. Paul.
It's the best
Yeah, well, hey,
game
him and Gustafson are going on a rotation basis here. They've each started a game for the last 10 games. It's been 1-1-1-1. And we'll see how long that lasts. But, I look at that situation, Kevin, and I think it's ideal for a young goalie coming in. You're getting playing time, but you don't have the pressure of being like, I got to be the starter. I got to be on all the time, right? Like, I think mentally and emotionally and physically, it's a perfect scenario for a young goalie.
I'll do you one better. The fact that they're using them both in this manner, like it's one thing to not feel that pressure because you have Philip Gustafson there. He just signed a big contract, exceptional season last year. He's actually, we talked about this going into the year when Gustafson signed that contract. Average year, fantastic year, average year, fantastic year. Right now, guess what? He's right at expected, right around league average with this performance. But there's no pressure on Wallstead, as you said. But also, some coaches used to go, they'd have two goalies and they'd be like, oh, win and you're in. What does that do? It adds pressure, right? Like in a position that's already like tons of pressure enough, it adds another layer. Like if you're the backup, you're like, man, if I don't win tonight, I might not play for another week. Or, I better win if I want to keep playing. Like this is the perfect thing. Every second game, you're going to be back in. Every goalie wants to play, or at least they used to want to play every game. The next best thing is playing every second game. And you can go back to, I think the first one to do this, Jersey's farm team won a cup doing this way back when. And I wrote some stories on it, and now I can't remember the year. But the team that started this at the NHL level in the regular season was Ron Wilson's San Jose Sharks with Vesa Toskala and Evgeny Nabokov. And they went back and forth in a straight alternation all the way through March that year until Toskala got hurt. And talking to those guys and lots of guys since, every goalie wants to play every game. What's the next best thing? Every second game. No extra pressure, no games, no fears of, man, I could play great, but we lose and I don't get back in. Like none of that. It's all gone with the straight back and forth rotation. We've talked about this before. I'm a massive advocate of it, and I love the way the Wild are handling this with their two goalies.
Yeah. I like the Wall of St. Paul. It is a really good nickname, by the way.
Oh, so good.
Whoever came up with that one, slow clap. That's very good.
You should get a signed T-shirt, whoever did it, because I'm guarantee you it's all over. That's right. You know what? It's right up there. Second best goalie nickname in the National Hockey League right now because he lives up to it when he's healthy and on the ice. Pyotr Pokchetkov. That's the only other one that's like that. To me, that is because that guy flies out of there with the fire poker whenever he can. So two best nicknames in goaltending today.
That is very true. Now, looking at the goalies and situations the Oilers got coming in. So they're going to see Wallstead tomorrow. If you're the Oilers, what's the areas? How do you attack them?
Oh, it's a good question, and I haven't deep dived it. So I apologize, Jason. Like I said, got off the flight half an hour ago, straight to the hotel to talk to you. Didn't go into his video. I would say this: he's got a pretty favorable environment, a little better than Gustafson at a 905 expected. There's athleticism there, but to me, he's a structure goalie, right? Like, and again, this is just me having watched him in his draft year and all those kind of things. So what do you do to a structured goalie? You try and create chaos. We've talked about the Oilers not being a good enough net front presence team for a lot of this season. You've got Zach Hyman back. Anything you can do to take away eyes, as cliched as that is, make him uncomfortable. Like traffic is still at the NHL level one of the hardest things to adjust to. Make sure he has to pick what lane to look around. Make sure you've got bodies in front of the net. Make sure you try and create chaos, because as sound as he is technically, as soon as you put some of those, like just get him thinking and moving more out there. It's not that he's not athletic, but that's not his bread and butter. On the sliding scale between athleticism and technique, he is a technical sound positional goaltender. So don't make it easy for him to find pucks and find that positioning early in sequences.
Okay. Then they've got Seattle here. We saw Joey Decord. They don't play again. They lost the order Saturday, so I'm assuming it's going to be Decord again. I watched that game. I didn't love his play on the McDavid goal. Like, am I just wrong on this? He didn't read the play at all. Like, I couldn't believe McDavid has in the slot. He comes around the side, and Decord gave him the whole short side. I
would say he actually read the play that didn't happen. Looked to me like he thought McDavid was going to pass out of that. Either he got caught behind the screen, because McDavid did come through traffic on that, and I watched that game as closely as I could under some circumstances, but had a good eye on it. And to me, it looked like combination of screen and him anticipating a pass. And this is what the good ones do, right? Like, you can't cheat at all. As good as McDavid passes the puck, and I can't remember who was off to McDavid's right, Decord's left at the time, whether that would have been Draisaitl or not, trying to remember how the lines were going that game. But he clearly anticipated something other than what McDavid did. And you're right, against somebody as elite as McDavid, you can't do that, and he made him pay. It looked terrible. That's the fine line between anticipation and guessing. Guess wrong, and you look bad. The Canucks had a game here recently, Jason, where I'm trying to remember who they were playing. It was Anaheim, and it was Peter Mrazek, and Philip Hronek caught a puck in the same spot off a pass, and Mrazek was caught behind traffic, not even close to getting in position. On the TV, it looked simple. The entire net was open, even more open than what McDavid was looking at. Hronek was looking past the whole way, never had his head up, never looked at the net, passed out of basically an open net situation because of that lack of awareness. So there are times when like Mrazek was late, Decord went early, but there are times when you get away with it. Connor McDavid on the ice is not going to be one of those times.
Then the Oilers will take the Jets. The Jets, of course, they've had 6 games without Connor Halley. Well, really 5 since they announced it, because Eric Comrie had the start afterwards. And then they announced that a few days later that Hellebuyck was out for the foreseeable future, 4 to 6 weeks. The Jets have 1 win in their last 5 games. That came against the Predators, and they allowed 2 goals. So I don't know if it'll be Milic on Friday night against Buffalo, and then Comrie gets the second half, or he'll get the first game. But either way, Comrie Milic, that's a goaltending tandem that the Oilers should be able to take advantage of, especially when it's a team playing their 6th game in 9 nights.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if this was last year, Jason, I don't think there's nearly as much consternation about Eric Comrie going in there. And this isn't a comment on Eric Comrie. This is a comment on the way that team's playing overall. Like, last year, Comrie's adjusted numbers were right up there with Hellebuck's on a per shot basis. Obviously not the total sample, but he was really good, and the team defended really well, and he had some great moments. And when we've talked about this, right? Like, just how high the expected save percentage was for both Jets goalies last year. They were one of the best defensive teams in hockey. They come into this week ranked 20th defensively, 5-on-5, 23rd on the PK in terms of high danger chances given up. They are nowhere near what they were defensively. They're not producing offense beyond the top line like they were in the past. Like, this is a significantly downgraded team that's now also asking their backup goaltender to fill the shoes of the best goalie in the world right now. So it's a big ask. If this was last year, I'd feel really confident in it. But they are asking so much more of their goaltenders. We talked earlier this year. Hellebuck's raw numbers were down, and I told you that he was actually better to start this season than he was when he won the Vezina last year, because the environment had cratered. So they need to find a way. Eric Comrie is capable of holding them in, but they need to find a way to get back to that identity that they had last year defensively to give him the best chance to do so. Thomas Milic is a great story. We know him dating back to pre-World Juniors. We've done a whole bunch of stuff with him over at Ingle. I love his approach. I love the way he thinks the game. He actually won a World Junior gold medal in part from adding a technique he learned at inglemag.com to his repertoire before the World Juniors, and used that save selection multiple times en route to gold. So obviously we're big fans, but this is a really big ask of a kid that's never played in the National Hockey League before last week to come in and, again, be part of replacing the best goalie in the NHL over the last 3 seasons. Yeah.
I don't think it'd be easy at all. I don't know how much you've dug into Andre Vasilevsky's numbers this year, Kev, but the publicly available ones look very good. And Tampa Bay is now first in their division, and basically without much of a pulse from Braden Point, who's battled a little bit of an injury, missed 3 games. He's only got 11 points in 20 games. But, man, I'm looking at Vasilevsky's numbers, and as I see, Hellebuck gets injured. He's not going to play enough games to win the Vezina. I look at Shesterkin's numbers and just that team in front of him, and I'm like, it's going to be pretty hard for him to do it. Wedgwood, you've talked about how, his environment's been unbelievably favorable, and with Mackenzie Blackwood coming back, he's probably going to start to lose some starts. So where do you see, if I had to say today, Vasilevsky's my favorite to win the Vezina, what would you say?
Well, I would say that we could come down to games played and ultimately how guys like Jesper Wallstedt keep going as rookies, and do they get more minutes? But he's definitely in the conversation. Like, he's played extremely well. They are a really good defensive team this year, even though his expected save percentage is only a titch above league average. When I look at sort of how they defend overall, and maybe there's a little bit of recency bias in there. The Canucks went in there and basically created nothing, although frankly, that's about half the nights for this team right now in terms of creating nothing. But defensively, and listen, I hear you on Braden Point because I've got him in a hockey pool and he's killing me. But defensively, they're like 7th in expected goals against 5-on-5. Their PK 7th. Their in-zone defending is really good, despite missing a lot of key personnel. It's slipped a little bit lately. But behind all that is Vasilevsky. It reminds me of the conversation about Hellebuck last year, right? Like, how much faith do you have in your system, knowing that if we do our job, we got one of the best in the world behind us doing his. And he has been that guy for them this season. His adjusted save percentage is easily in the top 10 of the National Hockey League. And when you filter it for guys who play as much as he did, it slides into the top 6. The guys I would have ahead of him in terms of winning the Vezina Trophy this year at this point, and obviously we got a lot of runway left. Ilya Sorokin, I sent something out on Twitter earlier about, talking about a bad environment. The 870 expected. What he's doing is quite literally stopping bullets in his teeth, Superman stuff. And Logan Thompson, not far behind him, with an 882 expected, an adjusted save percentage, that's well above his environment. Those guys are 1 and 3 in the goals saved above expected race right now by ClearSight Analytics. Vasilevsky is 7th. Guess who's number 2, by the way? We should probably talk about this, not so much just, hey, you can find goalies off waiver wires and reclamation late bloomers, but more in terms of when is somebody going to hire the goalie coach responsible for this in the NHL, Devin Cooley.
I was just going to You're reading my brain, because I was going to say Dustin Wolf got pulled in Tampa Bay, right? He allowed 3 goals on 4 shots. Cooley came in, finished that game, and then he started the next 2. He started in Florida 2 nights later, and then he started in Carolina, and he's only allowed 4 goals in those 2 games. He won 1, lost 1 in overtime. The Flames didn't generate anything, but Cooley's been really good, and basically he's played the last 3 games here. Like, I was questioning, I thought the Flames were overplaying Wolf early, but Cooley's numbers, man, are lights out.
Like you're right. Like, lights out. Best adjusted save percentage in the entire National Hockey League, and it's not like they're defending exceptionally in front of him. 878 expected, so a full 11 points below league average, and he's been fantastic. And this is not only a good example of the Flames do this, right? Like, they find guys when it comes to goaltending. They have a whole department. Jordan Sigalet at the top of it does a really nice job identifying talent. Jason LaBarba does a really nice job in the National Hockey League, and Thomas Spear before him. But now, like Mackenzie Skapski, all he does is work with goalies and make them better for the Flames farm team. I think there are a handful of teams that missed on him this summer when job openings were there. If you look at Dustin Wolf, Skapski arrived in his 2nd season, and that's when he was already goalie of the year, but he went from goalie of the year to goalie of the year and MVP, added some elements of his game. Skapski played it briefly with the Rangers, learned Benoit Allaire's system. He's kept up to date in sort of all the modern aspects of goaltending, understands biomechanics. This guy is going to be an elite NHL goalie coach. And I kind of told people that last summer, and Devin Cooley is once again showing why he should be in the National Hockey League. Sorry for Flames fans, because you're going to lose a great guy real soon. The thing about Cooley that I really like is he's changed his game. He's adjusted his game. All the tools are there, and Skapski just helped sort of put them in a box that worked in a more efficient manner, gave him a plan to have success. So there's a little bit of 2 birds there that I wanted to talk about, both the job that Skapski did with him and the job that Devin Cooley is doing. And he's fun too, right? Like the line about we're all going to die. We heard that in San Jose 2 years ago. And, I just love whatever you got to do to clear your mind and focus on the next shot. Believe me, there are voices running around in my head every time I'm on the ice. His may be a little more, like dark, but it works for him.
Yeah, well, he's been really good. And I look at Calgary and be like, hey, Dustin Wolf, we think he's our guy of the future, but it doesn't mean we have to play him. I thought he was playing way too much on a bad team. I just think that gets mentally and physically worn down for sure. So I think it's smart.
Cooley had a tough camp. Yeah. Cooley had a tough camp. And like there were reports out there that they were looking for an upgrade in the backup spot. And so good on them for sticking with him. I'm with you maybe a little earlier, but again, there's that great plan, right? Like guy to find the talent, a guy to develop the talent, and the guy in the NHL just help sort of get him through a tough camp into his best game in Jason LaBarbera. And now they're playing him a little more, which should get you the best out of Wolf. Because I know it's been a little up and down late. I looked at the Tampa game. There's only one goal that I didn't really love out of that. The other two were kind of just really tough chances early in a game for Dustin Wolf. He started terribly, no question. But since sort of about 2.5 weeks into the season, there was a run where he was back to exceptional. And it's been a little more hit and miss. But overall, his numbers are just fine ever since that sort of early two-week blip.
Yeah. Awesome stuff, Kev. I appreciate it, my man.
Thank you, Jason. Good luck the rest of the way with the fundraising, and I'll talk to you when I'm back from Montreal.
That's Kevin Woodley from InGoal Magazine, NHL.com. Gary came back in $6,800 on our monthly giving package. All right, now we're down to the file wire, so be sure to get on your phone and answer when the con man calls you, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. If you want to get a bid in, you can, 833-401-1440. Also, a steal of a deal, $300 on the order tickets tomorrow night if you want to go. All right, $300, 833-401-1440. We'll return to the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Now for today's holiday special, Legacy Heating and Cooling saves Christmas. Santa's furnace broke down in the shop last night, and the elves couldn't make any toys, that's right. So Santa called up his pals at Legacy Heating. And ho, 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 golly gee, 1 year, no payments, interest-free. And the elves are working merrily with a brand new furnace from Legacy. Happy holidays from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
A Saskatchewan boy who grew up loving and playing sports. At least we think he grew up. Listen to Kevin Carius weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Five-time Junior Hockey League champions, the Spruce Grove Saints, are excited to be back on the ice at the brand new Thompson Family Arena. Be part of the action and enjoy some of the best junior hockey Canada has to offer by experiencing a Saints game for your next outing. Tickets range from $10 to $17 with free parking and some of the best food and drink specials in town. For more information on tickets and how you can become a partner, go to sgsaints.ca.
Picture this. You're sleeping and you're awake, but it's a good day because you're about to make your way to McDonald's to pick up some breakfast. Fast forward, you're there. Like this, you can now get all those breakfast classics penny style with rich, creamy hollandaise-style sauce. A happy little tear rolls down your cheek. You grab your small McCafe premium roast coffee, still just $1 plus tax every day. And see. Get up and at 'em with the Egg McMuffin. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
It's Canadian Tire's Black Friday sale.
With the lowest prices of the year.
How low can we go?
Limbo again?
Shop the Black Friday sale at Canadian Tire.
All right,
save
friends.
up to 60%. November 27th to December 7th. Conditions apply. Details online.
All right, friends. Day one of the month of giving.
Where the smiles are as genuine as the conversations. That's the feeling you get at Nisku Ford, a family-owned dealership where finding a new Ford feels just like catching up with old friends. Here, you can take your time, explore the latest Fords, and enjoy the no-pressure atmosphere. It's not just
Their
about
part
cars.
teacher.
It's about family, comfort, and trust. The coffee's on, so drive into Nisku Ford or visit nisqford.ca today. Above expectations.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Northwest Crane, available for all your lifting and equipment needs. Specializing in selling and servicing cranes, get lifting at northwestcrane.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
Welcome back. One thing we haven't even touched on is the fact that F1 is now literally 3 guys could win the championship. What is going on? McLaren looked like they were well on their way to winning. And oh my goodness, geez, just giving it back. And now Norris is still, no pun intended, in the driver's seat. But Max and Piastri are both with a chance. If they win, obviously they need a little bit of help. But man, that is going to be an electric final race if you're an F1 fan coming up this weekend. So that should be pretty good. 833-401-1440. Connor's going to call our final bidders here in the furnace. So Gary and Rob, please have your phones on, and Connor will be giving you a phone call right about now. All right. So there we go. A few other texts to get to, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Guys, I appreciate you asking the Boston guy about Trent Frederick. I really want to believe that Frederick's going to find his game. I understand if a player doesn't have confidence offensively, but why can't you just muck it up? I don't understand it. Well, that's a fair question, Steve, because it's interesting that and if you missed that interview earlier in the show when we went to Boston, and we're talking about Trent Frederick, and Trent Frederick in Boston was, he's a solid contributor for them. Solid. Played well. Like there wasn't much. It was Alex Barth who we had on, and he was just like, "Hey, man, there's not much that you didn't like about him. He's physical," but his exact quote was, "I want to go find it." He was always at his best in Boston when he played with a chip on his shoulder and was physical. That led him to being involved in scoring around the net. He was a streaky scorer as well from Alex Barth. So there you go. That was kind of the rundown that we got. And you look at Frederick, we haven't seen him in a whole lot of situations where he's been, the aggressor and being physical, right? Haven't. And we need to see more of that. Like, that's part of your contract. You weren't signed to be a big-time goal scorer, right? Like 3.85 isn't like huge money for goal scorers, right? It's one where you say, hey, the intangibles that you have, physical, aggressive, a little bit of a pest, an initiator, not a reactor, be an initiator. And I always wonder, and I'd like to believe that no one would come out and say it, but at times it feels like in Edmonton, they're like, well, we don't want to be the initiator. Well, why? I think they need to be. So it's something that I think would benefit them for sure. For sure. Do we have the 2-minute warning? All right, let's get to the 2-minute warning. Tater had forgot it, but now I got it in just in time. Tater, good job. Here's the 2-minute warning brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Man, they give tons back to the community, including our month of giving package today, legacyheating.ca.
All right, friends. Day 1 of the month of giving. Today's package is a terrific one from the fine folks at Legacy Heating. You can check it out at jasongregor.com. And if you're anything like me, try not to hit the wrong button and end up shopping for lawn furniture. Now, if you feel that tug, or maybe you're feeling generous because the Oilers didn't stress you out too much this week, make a bid during the 2-minute warning, would you? I'd be forever grateful. Ring those phones. Gently. They're sensitive. 833-401-1440. And Gregor, oh boy, here we go, who read the 2-minute warning on Friday, still won't let me read my own segment. Still, maybe Santa's bringing me the permission slip this year. Here you go, Cam. You can read the thing you wrote. The thing is, if I read it, the way I speak it would be the 2-hour warning. A Christmaser's miracle. Gregor did an outstanding job, especially when he talked about how I want to tell stories of minor hockey in Edmonton. Because those stories, they're out there. They're part teacher, part parent, part comedian, and part hostage negotiator when a kid won't leave the penalty box. Very quick interruption. Month of Giving hotline, 833-4011440. Call, text, send carrier pigeon, whatever works. All right, back to our broadcast already in progress. I think about coaches like Tom Jackson, Duncan Harvey, Larry Ferber, Wilf Bossy, Hugh Barry, Lorne Bame, and more. They taught me that success isn't always on the scoreboard. Sometimes it's just a kid finally figuring out how to stop without hitting the end boards. So if you know a minor hockey coach who goes above and beyond, or someone who deserves a medal for managing 8 different water bottles that all look exactly the same, email me, cam@sports1440.ca. One more time, cam@sports1440.ca. I truly look forward to your stories. 2-minute warning, kicking off the month of giving with Gregor, Halley, Kruger, and me, Santa Cam. Weekdays on Sports 1440.
There you go. That's the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate. Appreciate it. The 2-hour warning. That would be funny, actually. Congratulations, Gary. He is the big winner on day one, 6,900. Nice, Gary. Nice. For the action from Legacy Heating package today. Also, congratulations, Jesse. Got the tickets. Steal of a deal for the order game tomorrow. Attaboy, Jesse. Coming up tomorrow, we will have more Month of Giving. If you want to see all the packages, you can go to jasongregor.com. You'll see the Month of Giving right in the front. Super easy. Tomorrow, we're going to have the Astoria Lighting Home Package. Going to light up your life. These things are unreal. I love them. I've got them. I know a lot of people have them. So we'll get to all of that and more. On behalf of Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, I am Jason Gregor. Let's get to Sports 1440 update brought to you by Loca. Your next dinner is ready with Loca Quality Market Meals. 2 locations, but also now they deliver. They'll bring the food right to you. Healthy, hot, delicious. Loca.ca. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
5 games on the ice tonight in the NHL, 3 of which are underway. After 20 minutes, Devils have a 2-1 lead over the Blue Jackets, and Sidney Crosby 17th of the season. The Penguins ahead of the Flyers at 1-0 early on in the first, but the Sabres lead the Jets 2-0. Later tonight, Blues taking on the Ducks. Then you got the Mammoth in San Jose. Defenseman Cal Puda signed a contract with the Chicago Wolves, the AHL affiliate to the Carolina Hurricanes. He's not played since the 2023-24 season, while he was a member of the Devils. After he was charged with sexual assault, he was acquitted in July. In the NFL tonight, week 13 coming to an end. Pats and Giants. That gets going at 6:15 from Foxborough. And in the association, 9 games tonight. Right now, Cavs up on the Pacers 53-34. Pistons and Hawks tied at 41 apiece, while the Bucks lead the Wizards 46-43 in the second. Later tonight, Nuggets and Mavs, Rockets and Utah, and the Lakers hosting the Suns. And the Edmonton Elks agreeing to terms on a contract extension with defensive lineman Noah Taylor, even with the green and gold through the 2027 season. That's going to do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next, it is Fox Sports Radio. Live local coverage resumes tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. with Kevin Carius here on Sports 1440, streaming on our YouTube channel, Sports 1440 AM. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station.